So bear with everybody. We should be on Facebook and YouTube right now, and just waiting for Instagram to catch up because we know that's the slow one. Remember to put it on mute. Do you remember last time? Right then, so here we are. Okay, so welcome everyone. It's our first craft along. So you know how it goes. It's the burble, burble, burble while we know who's watching and what's happening and everything. So we have one person. First one in the room, tell me who you are. Come on, let's can't pretend I'm not a bit nerve-sighted. You know how it goes. Always a bit nerve-sighted. Right. Oh, 4 of you. Welcome, welcome. So my camera's here, but the comments are over there. So when I'm looking over there, it's not that I'm ignoring you, it's I'm reading you. So, morning, Pat. How are you? Welcome. So we've got 5 of you so far in. Thank you very much. Come on, we need to know. Don't be shy. You can always drop me a like. I won't necessarily know that you did it, but yeah. So it's exciting. I've got the fans whizzing because it's quite warm in here. No one's been in here for a few days. God, I came in this morning. Oh, wowzers. So the fans are on. So if it's an annoying noise, do let me know and I'll try. At first I'll turn them down because I'm a bit reluctant to turn them off at the moment. So, Sally. Hello, Sally from Scotland. Hi, Margaret. Oh, Gail. Hi, Gail. So if anyone doesn't know, Endless Thread Design is my wonderful friend, Gail. I hope you're feeling better because we missed each other at festival. Gail was ill, but she was like, oh, shall I go? Shall I go? And I'm like, I'm not going to book a hotel just on the off chance. But I knew you'd get there, Gail, because it was festival and it was really good. So, hi, Janet. Thank you for the compliment, Gail. I can assure you I'm not feeling good this morning. I'm going to give everyone a heads up kind of why that is. So yeah, I'm really pleased because you sounded atrocious when I spoke to you the other day. Well, not the other day. Morning, Sue. Hello. So you know how it goes. We just burble. We let a few people arrive, and but when we get like 2 or 3 more in, then I'll kind of start. So where are we? 2 or 3 more. It's like never watch. You know, what is it? A watched pot never boils. That's it, isn't it? That's what we say. Oh, morning, Pat. Oh, morning, Rosemary. How are you today? How are you? I was kind of hoping that Sheila might be here as well, because I have very special thanks. Oh, Pat, you're twice. You're on YouTube and you're on Facebook. So while we're still waiting for a couple of people to arrive, just to let you know, this craft along that we're doing, it's live on Instagram. If you're watching on Instagram, it will probably switch off after an hour, so you will have to go elsewhere to get the whole thing. If you're watching on Facebook, which most of you are, it will remain on Facebook for I think 30 days, and then Meta delete live videos that are more than 30 days old. But on YouTube, if you go on YouTube and look up Quilting Antics, we are currently live on YouTube, and then it will stay on YouTube. So it's great because you can put it on your big telly. So if you're messing about on your phone, put it on the big telly, or there, wherever you've got your big telly. Watch me in widescreen. But then if you want to comment, you've got the phone at the side of you. You can still comment on your phone. So you could be on Facebook and YouTube, giving Windows a right shock when you've got all the remotes and everything to yourself. So oh wow, we're filling up now. Good morning, Louise. Sheila. Thank you very, very much. Sheila sent me this lovely little angel. Morning, Vanya. Vanya, I have a message from you which I haven't responded to. I will explain what. So we've got 20 of you watching now. So this week has been an extremely ropey week. My dad's been diagnosed with the big C, and it's not good news. There's no hope. So he's been in hospital for 9 days now, and his support needs kind of thing. We've got to be with him 24/7 at the moment. So I was kind of thinking of a way to put an edited version, like a polite version down the channel and that. And I thought, you know what, I can't do that. It's not me. So there we are. So it's all on there. we're dealing with it. But why I'm saying it is because I haven't been very good at replying to messages. The prep, I've just done the night shift at the hospital with him, left the hospital about, I don't know, 9:30 this morning, hour's drive home. So you can see I've had just over half an hour to prepare for this session, which I am prepared, but it's a little bit more rambash than I had anticipated. So, which is fine because we get to work along with each other at the same pace. But if you have messaged me and you haven't had a reply or anything like that, that is the reason why, because it has been so utterly full on, because this is something that 3 weeks ago he was mum's carer, and now things are not looking great. So it's been a bolt from the blue. We don't know whether we're on our hands or our feet. Mum's obviously not in a great place. So love to my dad, and hope we have the best journey we can. Anyway, so, and I know that my sentiments there, I know, oh, just bring my microphone in a bit, might sound better. My sentiments there, lots of you at home are going through similar things. So we're kind of in an exclusive group that none of us want to be in. But in the meantime, Sheila sent me this, not for that reason, for another reason. And I've just opened it this morning, and which reminded me, the reason I've only just got it, Sheila, is because lots of our patterns and things have our old address on. And since we moved home and I work from my home address, I'm a bit shy about putting it. Well, I can't get it on the website because I don't have access to that first page, which is why it's so rubbish. But I can't put my home address out. Anybody who needs it can have it, you know, for purposes of what we do and our community, but I don't publish it. So if you do need it, let me know and you can have it with the greatest of pleasure. But you kind of get what I'm going. So, right. If you need a break, take it. We can watch you in parts. Rosemary, we're just going to go for this. Good morning, Sarah Jane. How are you? Thanks, Sally. He is important. Lynn's found us on Facebook. There we go. I think I'm up to date with messages there. So I've got the Downy camera. I've got the face camera. The sewing machine's down here. So this morning we are going to make Presents Are Coming, which are these gorgeous little gift boxes designed by Michaela Smith. Now, they are only 3 sides. When Michaela was working them out, she realised that having a triangular box used a lot less fabric, but it didn't actually reduce the internal space by much. So seemed a winner chicken dinner. And the best thing about this is that you can actually get away with using leftovers. So, you know, the roof, you want something this big. If you've got the pattern, it's telling you what sizes you are. For the walls, you want something this big. If you're watching now and you would like to craft along, I'm just bear with me. There is a link to the download version of the pattern, which I can just chuck on. Oops, excuse me. I hope you haven't disappeared while I'm getting this link. Presents are coming. I am here, so where are we? Presents are coming. Download link. There we go. Let me just get it. Copy. Back over here. Post a comment. Right, there we go. So if you're watching now and you fancy having a go at making these cute little boxes, I've just, so we are 10 minutes in, just put a link on. I'm saying 10 minutes in, so if you need to like scroll anywhere in the film, you know where you're looking. So you can download the pattern and you can have it instantly. The difference with the download is on the posted version, you're getting everything at A3. On the downloaded version, it's A4 because most of you have got A4 printers, although just stick the pages together. Because what I've done, I've done like a join line, so the 2 pages will overlap. And also, I think I've done it is so that the 2 halves are not back to back, so you can put it there. So you've got 2 pages. One is the outline that we need to trace. The other is the decoration. There you go, decoration side. Now that one, you don't need to stick them together, just place them together. Really is probably enough. But we'll work down that as we go. So welcome other people who've joined. So morning, Win. Anybody else, you know, say hi, whatever, and I'll just keep going between you here and the things. Now, the way that we make these, and you're going to make it in real time with me today, so so don't be worried about being slow or whatever, because I'm probably faster at doing it because I know what I'm doing and it's what I do. But at the same time, I'm going between talking to you and reading the comments. So while I'm up here and I'm not stitching, gives you minutes to catch up, kind of thing. So anyway, I'm going to show you. I did the red one with the beige. I did that was supposed to represent like a thatched cottage. So that's more of a browny grey buffy colour, and that would look nice in any kind of mustard. This one here, I did the light kind of heather colour with they've all got the same doors because I just had some scraps and things, and I think for display purposes I wanted them kind of uniform in that set. And this one, look, I did it's a dark grey wall and a dark purple. Now there's no reason if you've got the kit that you can't mix and match these about. Let me just, I've got a kit somewhere. So the kit, here we are. If you're working from a kit, you have got 3 different colours. So they're not forced to all be the same, but I think they pretty much are. In fact, the newest kits, let me just show you. The thatched cottage, let me get it out. Where am I going here? The thatched cottage, I didn't have any of this one, so I substituted for this, which I think kind of makes a nice thatch. And if you wanted to, you could kind of decorate with hand stitches to put the, you know, like a thatched cottage type detail on there. So I've got this kit here is actually sold. So on the website, it's showing me that there's stock left. Well, it was showing me I've got this one left, but 2 of you have said that you were unable to get stock. So I'm not really sure what's happened there, whether somebody's got it like allocated in a shopping basket and not checked out. But if you do want a kit, if you're watching kind of post the session, apologies if I'm waffling a bit, I can make more. I can make more kits. I am short of the ribbon, but once I've done the as far as I can, then we can just adjust the ribbon and see if I can get some more. And if I can't, then we'll think of something else. But so there you are. Now, if you're watching this demonstration, it is exactly, I'm saying exactly, more or less the same instructions to make the dinky little houses. I'm not going to go on and do the link just now, but if you followed the link to the presents are coming, you will find these. They're under the section Christmas and Christmas favourites. So on the website, down the left-hand side, there's some blue buttons. Just select Christmas. It opens a drop-down menu. Christmas favourites. Both types of houses are in the Christmas favourites. And there's a download section at the top. Both are in the downloads. Now, the dinky little houses only ever was A4, so there's no need for sticking pages together with that one. And you know what? Once you've got the skills, you might want to do both, because where the, hang on, I've got a little demo-y one of this, where the dinky little houses are much smaller, you can get away with smaller scraps. So this is the walls, the presents are coming, and this is the amount of fabric that you would need. Does it fit crossways? Just about, yeah. For the dinky little houses, can you see there a little bit of glare? You would easily get, you know, you would easily get to, I folded that in half out of there. So you could do that, and the roofs. So it's a double-sided roof thing, but yeah, you'd easily get. So it's up to you, whichever you want to do. We do have a dinky little house kit. Now, they are sold out, but I can probably do some more. It's one of those, I said I'd do this live session, and then the world tipped upside down. So we've got, anyway, there we go. So kits, let me know if you want one. I can sort some. If you're joining now and you want to join in, follow the link for the download, and you can get it. You can join along with us. So where are we? Let's just see if there's any more comments that I've missed. Daisy wants Balamory houses. Oh, Daisy, I think that's absolutely your right to have Balamory houses. Hello from another Sarah Jane. Oh, wow, I didn't twig that. Yeah, Sarah Jane Francis and Sarah Jane Kennedy here. Oh, Hayes Jones, hiya. Thought you would cut your hair off for the moment. No. Straight off the night shift, I'm telling you. We're just getting slick at this now. I come in the house, I'm like to Donis, does my t-shirt look clean? He's like, yeah, I'm like, good, because it's not. I've had a nectarine and dribbled it all down the front. Morning, Pen, how are we doing? So, right, that's the burbling. As I said, we're going to do this in real time. Other things that you might want to consider as we go along. The houses are, there's a combination here of thread. There's a neutral thread, if you can see around the top. You can use matching if you want. And for the windows and things, a dark brown thread. Now, we're going to use, for the actual construction of the houses, it's going to be your bobbin thread that shows up. So have a think about what your bobbin thread looks like. And I'm going to show you, because it's all in real time, is this, how I wind my bobbin, because I don't follow manufacturer's instructions to the letter. I have my own little things, which I do, which work for me, which manufacturers might go, but who cares? So we'll start out. We're going to draw the shape out first. Let's get rid of some stuff. Excuse me, I've got a frog in my throat now. I'm going to go on the downhill camera in a sec. Let's just get everything sorted. If you all got all your stuff out to join in, we don't want the ruler, but we can go out the way. I've no idea how long this is going to take. Now, unlike a class where I would expect to be here for like so many hours, we're just going to do this. And then that's kind of it. And I can't see you, so I don't know where you're up to. But as we say, YouTube, Facebook for 30 days, YouTube permanently. This video will be there and you can go in. So I'm going to switch to a downhill camera now. Just bear with me. Bear with, because I can't find my camera, because I haven't used this for a bit. Right, we're on the downhill camera now. Okay, so that's the top and it's looking at you. Right, so I'm looking at it upside down and you're looking at it right way up. Now, this is a fabulous project for using up remnant pieces. So, well, this doesn't look like a remnant, but it actually is. This is just it was a metre of calico and it's not. Now, I've got my calico. If you don't have any calico, this is for the lining, this is for the inside. Don't use something expensive, just use something cheap, because no one's ever going to see it. I'm going to unfasten this. I stuffed this so that after years of them being squashed when I turned up on Create and Craft, now that it doesn't matter, we thought about stuffing them so that they would present nicely, which seems a bit slow off the mark. But let's pull that out. So the inside there, you're never really going to see that, are you? Because you're going to pop your gift in and you're going to tie it all up. And so the inside, do you know what you can use instead of calico? You know, if you bought some patterned fabric, not a dark one, a light one, and you don't really like it anymore, just draw on that, anything at all. So I'm not using a light box. You can use a light box if you want. You could sellotape your page onto a window if you want. But I'm not. You can see I'm on the green mat, which is not particularly... well, it's not helping me in any way, but I'm not having a problem. I can see through. So what I'm going to do, first of all, is make sure that's off the end. In fact, let's cut this down a bit. And it is this rambash. I'm just going to whack across there with the ruler. This is where you find out you've locked your pattern in half. But no, we've got away with that. Excuse me. And no ruler. You can if you want. And I'm just going to start and I'm going to draw all the lines. Well, I would if my pen works. What can I scribble on? Paper everywhere, but not when I want it. Now. I'm just going to draw. Tell me if I'm gabbling, because I think I am gabbling in my own head. I'm going like a million miles an hour. If we're really lucky, Michaela, who is the designer, of these little boxes may pop in, and we can invite people. And if you're stuck, is that lightweight calico, Anthea? Yeah, it's the cheapest calico I can get my hands on. Lynn had everything but the gold fabric. Don't worry, Lynn, because that goes on last. Sheila, just what? Yeah, you can't use your hand. That's really, really annoying. But are you on the right track, Sheila? So for those of you who don't know, Sheila had a bit of a tumble, and well and truly in the wars, I think it's fair to say, isn't it? So I was really miffed off about those flower people. I did you more like a letter than a note, and the fact that they never even included it was quite frustrating. So I'm just tracing down. See, I'm holding the fabric there between my two fingers, and then I've come down that way. And if you feel like you've got like a little hill building, come back from the other way and just... And the beauty of this technique is, if you did a line that was wonky, so let's say there's this line here and I go whoop, like that, you can come back, and so you can see I've just gone all there. Come back and just redraw the line, because all this is going to be inside and it's going to be hidden. So any mistakes, don't feel under any pressure, just redraw it. Don't use a heat removable pen, just a normal. You can see I'm using just a regular big biro here. So just down we go. Some of my lines here are absolutely atrocious, and that's the beauty. And I don't mind making atrocious lines for demonstration, because I think if you're at home and you're watching and you're like, oh, I can't draw like that, I can't this and I can't that, and you can see me doing an atrocious job, it I don't know, kind of gives you the confidence, hopefully. So I'm not the best stitcher, I just enjoy what I do. So this is just onto the calico. If you want to use a ruler, you can, but to be honest, you can just, you know, as long as you're getting the points in the right place. And when you stitch this, you can correct again with your stitch line. Now I do have some demonstration ones that I've used for yonks, like I keep wheeling them out when I'm on the telly, and if you want to, I can like keep referring to them. Just ask and I can get any of those out and show you like stages if we've gone past stuff. Obviously if you're watching live, that's not going to apply. If you're not watching live, should I say, that's not going to apply. Now my whole thing, I've noticed, has slipped across, so just move it over and it's not looking too bad there. Yeah, I'm pretty much on the line. I'm just going to redraw this one because I've gone off the line a bit. And you know what you can do if you've gone off the line and you're not happy? Just do a little arrow or something for the line that you like best. I do all stuff like that. I have my own little code that I use to write stuff. And as I've been going wonky, well wonky there. Down we go. And I'm going to use that line this time. It's so easy when you're on your own and you're just like doing your own thing, but you can see there it's come up. I've put my little arrows on, my little code where I want, you know, I've gone wrong, so that's the one I don't want to use. So I've come a bit closer to the camera and hopefully you can see better. So my little arrows there just to correct me. So because as I've been tracing and talking and like not paying attention, my fabric just started to wander across. So when I've pulled it back, I just corrected my lines, and there we are. Now, what I want here is next, I want some Bosal in our form. Now, if you've got Styleville, it's a very similar product, and I don't know if there's more things as well. That's just the two I know about. You can see this one. This one's completely eaten into. I've used this one. You know, we've hacked something out of there. I mean, that piece that's left over there would be perfect for dinky little houses. So you're going to trace in exactly the same way for dinky little houses, and that would be perfect. Just lop that off, and that now is not waste. It's a useful piece of in-art foam, because it's not cheap stuff, isn't this? I usually buy mine from Empress Mills, if anybody's interested. They seem to have a good thing. So wholesale wise, I buy mine from Empress Mills, but it's not something that I really sell. But Charles down there, he does some fab offers. So I think is very competitive on price with the in-art foam. So if you want some, do visit their website. And if you sign up to his newsletter, he's always got offers and stuff on there. So you might even get things a bit cheaper still. I know he does lots of newsletters all the time. It's like his thing. So, yeah, you know, because of what's been going on this week, I haven't really been, I haven't listened to myself at all. Got scissors somewhere. Where's your scissors gone, Donny's? Oh, Blinkety won't bother you. Donny's got them out for me. And I put them somewhere. This little bit here, I could iron that flat, but because I'm here in front of the camera, I'm just going to nip that bit off. Can go over there. And you can see I'm being quite slapdash with the whole thing. So just cut my now if you've read the instructions, you've probably got your pieces all prepared and the right size. But, you know, I just like gluing on my broomstick half an hour before the session, and as I say, I'm making it as I go along. I'll just make that the same size. Now, if you're using Fusible in-art foam, you can now iron to fuse those together. If you're not using Fusible in-art foam, just put some pins around just to hold it. I'm going to fuse that together. You might want to fuse it and then put a pin in the corner just to hold. So while you're catching up with the drawing, I'm just going to go and offer this to the iron, and I shall be back in a sec. So the iron, I forgot, takes an age to warm up, so I'll just have a look. Pen, is that lightweight calico? Yes. And Hayes says, is your polar bear available as a PDF? It isn't, but I will have a go at doing it for you, Hayes. I shall add that to my list. I'll go back to see if my iron's warmed up now. All ironed on. So I'm all ironed on there. Stick a couple of pins in. Where's my pin cushion gone? I'll tell you what we can use, because I'm really great at stabbing myself with the pins. I'll put some clips on. That's going to hold it all together. So the ironing just helps, you know, when it was moving while I was tracing it. So ironing it, if you've got Fusible in-art foam, helps to stop that kind of walking around. So if I haven't got iron on in-art foam, I really wouldn't be losing any sleep over it. So when we've stitched it, we're going to cut out, you know, when it's kind of to a point, we're going to cut everything out. So all this round the edge is going to be, you know, spare waste, whatever. I'm just going to switch to the ones that we've got. So here, all I've got is calico and in-our foam. Okay, Sheila, you take it easy and have a really good day, and we'll see you on catch up. Well, I won't see you, but you know what I mean. Pat, are the dinky little houses made the same way? They are made exactly the same way, and I know you've got the pattern for that one, so just keep with us, do exactly the same. The only place the dinky little houses is different is the roof. Let me get these. So the presents are coming, the roof is part of this. For the dinky little houses, the roof it's a separate thing that you put on over the top, but the principle's exactly the same. So just read along with your instructions. You're going to draw out your shape. This is the one here. I'm just getting out. This is the one that I took onto Sewing Street. Oh, I'm back on Sewing Street on the 1st of September, by the way. Turn it over. Dinky little houses. I've stitched this one. So you've got the drawing there. Trace it onto your calico. Bond your calico to your in-our foam, exactly the same as we've done here. And then for the dinky little houses, the walls is put on all in one. Now for the presents coming, that's slightly different, but there you go. So dinky little houses, you can keep up too. Just put into there. Try and keep something a little bit organised. There it goes. So it's all here. Just ask any questions as you go along. Sorry if that was a bit too rustly. I was near the mic. And I'm going to lift up my sewing machine now. Any issues you've got along the way, just tap in a comment, and we can deal with it. Deal with it as we go. So while we're live, we will deal with things in real time. Whoops. Let's move my phone over there. Phone's on, by the way, just in case, obviously, there's any issues. Now, I don't have a spool wound. I do. I've got lots of bits of spoons, which is kind of deliberate because I'm going to show you what I do. Housekeeping. So, all sewing machines are roughly the same. So my thread here is on the top and it goes around here. If yours is, you know, something that sticks out, sticks up, whatever for your spool, it's going to be exactly the same. It's just that yours will be stood up where mine's laid down. So you're going to do more or less the same things. I've got arrows marked in the plastic for the path I take for winding my spool up, and you've probably got similar on your machine too. So I've just threaded, oops, if I do it again, I've just threaded the thread from the inside of the bobbin through that little hole to the outside. Stick it on there. And then I come around all the things that it tells me to come around. I do it exactly like you're supposed to at this stage. And then just wind up a bit of the spare thread because I'm a bit too tight to like put all that thread in the bin. Now put your speed onto full. Turn your machine on would be really helpful. And as soon as I click this behind the lamp, as soon as I click this to the side, my spool is engaged. Hold the tail that comes out of the top of the bobbin, hold that tight. And then what I do that's different to, get my foot down here. Okay. This is the joy of demonstrating because I can't get this under the camera and the foot thing to the floor, so I'll have to improvise with my elbow. Hold that, and then I always run the thread through my fingers. Let me do it upside down. Through the pads in my fingers. Because they're like, you know, we've all got chubby little pads there. And because I do that, we just get a little bit of resistance. And why isn't it working? Why isn't it working? Hang on a sec. Just tighten this back up because I pulled a little thread through. What a fine time for your machine to not play ball. Why isn't it working? Oh. There we go. Full bar. And I also find if I'm nipping it at the top, I can direct the thread, you know, so that it's not all bunched up at one end. So you can like go up and down and hold back, and then it will. So I'm holding that thread as it comes out the top of the bobbin, and it gets to a place where it snaps, or it winds up so tight it's not any problem. From there, slide that back across, and I've got a little cutter there. Cut it and all that kind of tangled up stuff. I'm just going to trim that off because I don't want it caught in my gubbins of my machine. Now, when you tap that, it should be quite firm. This is because I've been like balancing on my elbow. It's a little spongier than I'd like, but if you tap it now, that should be quite firm and not like a bathroom sponge. And then when you put it in your machine, usually the thread goes anti-clockwise around. Totally nothing to do with the project that we're doing, but I know lots of us do have fun and games when we're doing spools. Sometimes I've read on, you know, like the forums, and people are saying my tension's all to cock, and other people are advising them, what you need to do is this, and you need to that, and you need to adjust this, and I'm just like, no, don't do it. Just wind your bobbin properly, and that'll solve everything. So put my machine up. Whoops. And remember I said on our houses, we've done the walls in a beige colour. You can do whatever colour you want. And, oops, where are we? And then we've done the windows using the dark brown, which I'm going to change my thread for later on. So thread it up. I will move the machine in a sec, and then we've got, hopefully, a bit better look. Now, when this is stitched, the outside line is a cutting line, but as I'm going round now, some of them I might stitch just because it's holding the layers together, and I'm fully aware that when I cut it out, I'm going to cut that stitching, but it just depends kind of how I'm doing when I go around, how I'm feeling about what I'm doing, and the whole lot. And you might notice I'll get the drawing up. In here, can you see there's a little like notch out there? Make sure that you are keeping that notch out. And I can show you why, because later on, so this one's one that's a bit further on, later on that notch there is how we're going to fold the sides to get things, you know, to get the seams to join it all together. We need that notch. Watch what happens to the notch when it's folded. See, the notch closes up. So if you had fabric there in that whole thing, you would end up with a pleat and something really difficult to negotiate. So on the dinky little houses, you also have notches, and on here you have two which are kind of clipped in. See there, the bottom, you've got two. So just follow your pattern and everything will be fine. Dinky away. Get these to one side, and it's, you know, all your instructions and everything on here. Bond the calico to the outer. Begin by stitching the base fabric to the house wall. Oh, we haven't even got that far yet. So right, hang on. Put your brain in gear on here. That's what we're going to do. We're going to do the house walls. I'm getting carried away. Right. So you have got your base is here with this bottom triangle. Let's switch back to the drawing. It's much easier to see. Hang on, the machine's in the way. Let me just try and have a jiggle and a juggle. Oops. Right. So you've got the base here is marked base. So when you're looking at it, right? It's marked base. So we're going to put the house wall fabric from just beyond this point all over here, and I want it to overlap this line here, because that's going to be the base fabric up there, and the roof fabric is going to go on here. So if you notice in your requirements, your wall fabric, I'm calling it base, but wall base, it's whichever word you're choosing, is twice as wide as the roof. And you can see here, twice as wide is because it's doing the wall and it's doing the base there. And then the roof bit is just simply doing the roof. So when you put your fabric on your in-R form, now your first like fear, where am I going to put it? So that's covering the other side of the in-R form. Where am I going to place it? Because how do I know that that's right? Because see here, I've got all that no man's land and all the rest. If you hold this up to the light and look through it, you will see enough through it to get your position. So here goes. I'm just going to hold mine up. Obviously, can't get that. In fact, I can get it on the camera. I can just switch cameras and you can. Where are we? Camera. Other one. Right, there we go. So got my thing here. So I want to put this fabric, yeah, on the other side, but over that drawn area. So I've got a rough idea. I can just fold that down just to start me off. Just start me off a little bit there. And hold it up. And that's not quite on it. So I'll just pull it a little bit this way. It's trial and error. And, you know, it won't be the first time I've ever had to unpick. So, so I can see there by my shadow. It isn't showing the shadow through to you. So once you're holding yours in your hand, so you can just do your own. So here I can see that's darkened there. I can see it's dark. That's my line there. And I can see the dark patch ends here. I can see that that's my line for the top of the roof and the dark patch ends over there. It's just this one up here that I'm not sure about. And for that reason, I'm going to just pull up my fabric just a little bit. And then have I got it? Right, I think I'm there. So lengthwise, it's a bit tighter. Now, while you're just getting yours in place, I'm going to whiz back and I'm just going to iron this on. If you don't have Fusible in our form, pin it, it's fine, but I'm going to just nip and iron it. So back in a sec. Back in a sec. The iron's at the other side of the room. The room looks like spaghetti junction. I did say I'm actually using a steam iron. I know with cotton we don't always like steam irons, but that is what I'm using today. So I'm all ironed on now with the steam iron. See, so it's there. I'm going to put a couple of pins in. The clips aren't going to reach from the side, so let's do pins. I've got more stuff than space. Let's grab some pins and put these in. Now the pins I'm going to put in from the drawing side, because when I'm sewing, they are that's what's facing upwards. If you are enjoying the craft along today and you want to do another one, send me ideas. Probably the craft alongs on here, shorter projects. These are quite quick to make once you get the knack of them. Shorter projects are best for a craft along. So there we go. Now, just reminded me, that's water off the iron there, that's going to go. If you're ironing and you should scorch, to me, that's a position for a window, it's a position for a little bit of stitchery, it's whatever. So if you scorch anything when you're ironing, then that's a quilting antiques top tip. So I've got my outer fabric, it's fastened to that side. I've got my drawn calico, it's that side with the clips, and now on the base, on the walls, so I've got a lot of glare going on the walls, I'm going to just stitch on the line. So let's bring the sewing machine in and see if you've got any comments. If you're watching on Instagram, by the way, in about 10 minutes time, that will probably stop. You're okay on Facebook, you're okay on YouTube, but Instagram, you're probably going to stop. How hot is the iron? Ooh, as hot as I can get away with, really, because I'm no good at waiting for a cool one. I'm quite industrial with it, I've got to say. If you're ironing wool fabric, what I do, let's just pretend my presser foot is the iron. What I do is hover the iron over the fabric, get the steam out, let it get really gummy, because a dry iron is no good for the wool. It just will not be enough. So just let it get hot and gummy, and once it's hot and gummy, dab it down, move it around, whatever. So that's how I would do it to help with scorching. But trial and error is the kind of thing. Sometimes I find the wool setting just isn't quite industrious enough for what I want. Trial and error, practice on some scrap, all that kind of stuff, really. But yeah, a dry iron, you will struggle with a dry iron. It just doesn't cut the mustard enough. So let's bring the sewing machine in. Hopefully I can get a good position, because I need the presser foot to be on the deck, which it just about is. Now, Vanya, I know you're crafting along with us today, and I wanted to say, you asked a question about Christmas is coming, and Christmas is coming. The tweed pack, it's the fabrics which are the house roofs and some of the bushes and things like that. So we actually used Christmassy fabrics for the houses and stuff. Being realistic, if I went, well, we don't have any of those in anyway, but if I went to the thing of putting all those fabrics in, the whole thing would totally and utterly outprice itself. So you're just getting the pattern, and you're getting a selection of tweeds in the right colours to do whatever. So now all I'm going to do is I'm going to stitch on the line. Now I've got my I've got my regular presser foot, because I'm not using a 1/4 inch seam. I'm not moving the needle position left or right. So I've got just like the groove down the middle, and the line is going to go straight on the groove. If that's not enough for you and you can't see what you are doing, I don't know whether you've ever used your applique foot here. It's wider. So come a bit closer. So you can see the regular foot just has this channel up the middle, which is fine when you're following a central drawn line. The applique foot has a wider empty area there, so you can see right into what the needle's doing. Neither of those feet is wrong today, so just use the one that you prefer. I'm going to start with this one. If I'm struggling, I'm going to swap to that one. So let's give it a look. Let's put this on. Stitch length, I'm going for, in fact, let's have a little think about this. So down no man's land, out of the drawing, just have a go. So I'm going to start with a stitch length 3. Now a 3, is it going to glide through nicely? Is it going to hold the layers of fabric nicely? So I've just done a length of stitching on a 3. That looks, unfortunately, it's not a dark thread. That looks to me quite nice, but I'm just going to do a stitch length 3.5 and see what happens. Now a 4 is a tacking stitch, but we're going through thick layers, so we can afford to go a bit thicker. So I always say practice, practice on some scrap first. Now the 3 here is a lovely stitch. The 3.5 is equally as nice. I'm going to go with the 3.5 for the simple fact that everything's flying through the machine a bit easier. It's just a nicer stitch to use. If you have a trial, with yours, just decide what you like, because lots of us, we're used to switching the machine on and whatever stitch length it's at, be it 2.2, 4, 6, 8, whatever, that's what we tend to go with. But when you're using thicker layers, such as these, those stitches can look a bit like ding, 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 all on the spot kind of thing. You know what I mean? You know what ding, ding, ding means. So just lengthen that stitch length. And it's the difference between putting your knife through a packet of butter that's just out of the fridge and putting your knife through some that's just softened a little bit. And that's the difference. That's what we're doing. We're trying to give ourselves the best advantage. So I'm going to stitch the base now. I'm going to do all lines on the base, everything that I've drawn for the base. So here we are. First of all, I'm going on the top line, pull that pin out as I go. And my wonky lines that I drew, just turn the mic around, hopefully less interference. The wonky lines that I drew, I can now straighten up with the stitch. So, needle in, press the foot up, turn it round, and I've just come over the line a little bit. So I'm going to, unfortunately, I don't have the camera that looks right in. I'm just lifting the needle up, moving the work to the side by like half a stitch, press the foot down and carry on. Now if I stitch over the same line more than once, I'm absolutely not worried about that at all. What I do want to do is just keep going. I want to keep going. I don't want to be breaking thread. Over. So I'm doing the inner line first. I can do the outer line if I want to, cutting line. Don't have to, but I can do. It's up to me. It's up to how I feel when I'm going round. I'm just going to lift my presser foot up, wind the needle back a little, and then reinsert it on the next line. Just press the foot down and carry on. So I've done down one side, I've gone round the base, and I'm going to travel on the line that covers the base again. So it's twice down that line. I'm making this up as I go along. There's no hard and fast direction line. Follow. Oops, that's another sample's just gone west. Yeah, that'll work. So, here. Now the line that divides the roof and the walls, when you're doing the walls, that stitch line is going to be covered. So it's up to you how you go about that, whether you want to travel on it more than once. Let me give you another nifty little trick in a sec. So I'm going on that line again. I'm dividing the house walls now, going straight down, and then I'm not going to stop at the end. I'm going off the bottom, and you'll see when I turn it round, I'm travelling in no man's land, and then I'm coming back up through the bit where the notch is and finishing the final theme. And that way, I haven't drawn haven't gone on the same line twice, and you'll see in just a sec. So here we are. So I've stitched mine. I've done all these like sections for the house walls. I've done the roof. So I've travelled on that section there twice, and I've travelled on this section, which is going to be covered by the roof, twice. On the bottom, instead of travelling on that part twice, I've swung out into no man's land and gone round. Now that's the cutting line. So this is going to be chopped off. So it's irrelevant. Anything that I do here is irrelevant because it's going to be chopped off and got rid of. Turn it over, and it's still wet from the iron, but you can see there the lines that I've stitched on. That's the one there that will be chopped out eventually. Now you can at this stage, if you want to, cut this back to the cutting line, but I'm just going to leave it. Well, what I might actually do is just cut the roof line back, because that's the one, once I've put the next fabric on for the roof, sorry, that then would be stuck in for all time. So just on the bit, so that's the base, the triangle for the base. This is the where the walls meet the roof. Just pull that back, take my pin out. Pull that back, and how I'm going to cut it back is I like my curved scissors, which are somewhere. And Donis, where have you put them? Where have you put them, mate? He's been really useful and really good as Donis, but you know what it's like when anybody's put your stuff anywhere, you haven't a clue, have you? So here we are. I've got my little curved scissors, which lots of you have got. So they're not flat on the bottom, they're curved. The beauty of this is I can just lift up that, and with my scissors flat against the fabric, and I'm not even particularly trying to be neat here, I'm just lopping it off so that that bulk isn't there. If you want to lop all the way around all the sides at this stage, there's nothing wrong with that, but you don't actually need to take those, you know, these bits off yet. So I've just come across there, and that is house walls finished. Simple as that. Now I've got my my roof fabric. I've just gone with red. I was going to do something like a completely different wacky colour today, but I just had the red there, so I'm just using the red. Somewhere along the line I've broken a fingernail and it's clicking. So like we did before, but this time I've got a guide, so I know I just want to cover that. I know that, let me move the machine out. Hi Adonis, you must have heard me having a whinge and a moan. No more than normal. It's what you expect in a good and happy marriage, isn't it? So let's put this there. Right, so to help me place the roof, I know that I've got, this is the outside line here, this is the outside line that, well, it isn't, it's actually the stitch line, but I'm just using the fabric because it's the same width. So I'm going to position my fabric, you know, we've got the length that way, and then I need to overlap. We know where the stitch line is, so I'm just going to go over the stitch line there, and then the whole piece, you know, that's already over the edge at the top. So I know without any particular effort that that is in the right place without having to look through from the other side. So while you get yours in position, I'm going to iron that down. I'll just have a look at comments first, make sure I'm up to date. Oh, Sue's at a vintage steam rally. Good luck to you, Sue. You must be a dedicated wife. Oh, Lynn knows where you're at. We got answered the hot one, and yes, Vanya, we're all tickety boo with. Hey, I'll tell you what, Vanya, as well. The Stoff Fabrics do some beautiful Christmas fabrics. I just got a load from Kaleidoscope when I was at Festival of Quilts. Although the project is great for using up little scraps, but did I bring them down here? They might still be in the house. If I find them, I'll show you what I've just bought from this year's ranges. So right, I'm just going to go and iron this on. Back in a sec. Pip pip, Donis. Right, back we come. So that's ironed on. Meant to tell you as well, if you iron onto the in-arm form and you don't like where you've positioned it, you can pull it off and just reposition, and in-arm form will let you do that. It's not like Bondaweb where you've wrecked it. I do have another post that I did with Charles at Empress Mills, which I've never got around to posting yet, which talks about that. So just like with the outer pins, I've put some pins on. Excuse the motorbikes going round. We appear to live on the Yorkshire TT racetrack, which is not the case, but unfortunately some of the motorbike riders seem to think it is. You can't have a moan, because if you moan on our settled chat, you'll get absolutely annihilated by them that think motorbikes are wonderful while they're moaning about the noise. There we go. So I've just put some pins in just in the corners there, you can see, and then just as before, I'm going to stitch on my lines, and I'm going to go around, and we've virtually got our house walls finished now. If you're just joining us and you want to craft along, at the start of this session, or maybe is it 10 minutes in to this session, there is a link that will take you to this this pattern on a download. So you're very welcome to join in. I will make some more kits and put them on the website so that you can buy them that way too. So now I've got my roof fabrics on. Let's move the microphone, and then it's talking more to me and not the machine, so you get me. Now we've already stitched along the roof line with the let's move that pin, with the wall fabric, but we're now going to stitch on that line again with the roof fabric, and it's only going to be the roof line that is visible. Come on, silly, press the foot. Do let me know either on here or private message whether you're enjoying the craft along, and whether you want to do another, and what project you would like to do. I know today's like a roasting hot day, so for some people it was the wrong day for a... Oops, missed my line there while I'm gassing. You know. But then I know there'll also be lots of you who are watching later. So just decide, there's no hard and fast rules for which way you're doing your roof. I'm just zigging and zagging along. So some of the lines, fold lines, so they are, they're not like seam lines, they're just, you know, because with the in-arm form, when you stitch through it, you put a scar in it, you introduce a scar, and that scar forms a weak spot. And the weak spot means that when you want it to fold, it will always fold in the place you want it to fold. And that's why we're doing this part. So without the stitch lines, at best you probably end up with something that's kind of dome shaped. So I've zigged and zagged all the way up and down the roof. And now I'm going to start going around the outside line. And if you miss your line, you can either re-sew it, or when you're cutting out, you can correct it then. That, you know, any minor errors. So I think I've just gone off going round the corner. Obviously, I'm stitching at a real old cobbed angle here. And you've got your, get this so you can see it. You've got your points. This isn't the point I'm on about, but I'll just show it. You've got your points. So when you're stitching a straight line, you can see that you need to keep above your point. You kind of, you're not going to struggle to miss that line. There we go. And what I'm going to do here to avoid going on the same line twice, you see there, I've done the points, zigzag, zigzag, zigzag. and then I've come back and I've gone around. Now I've missed that corner, I haven't quite got it right, but I'm close enough for what I want. Go around, and then I can go across the points. So where the points go here, even if my line went below, I can still correct it and go, you know, to the top, of just touching the top of those points. Just touch them, and that way they're going to remain nice. So for this one now, I just have the dividing line to do. I'm going out of the, take that clip off now, out of the shape, just, you know, not having to keep stopping and starting. For a start off, it saves so much thread. And then come down between the points and meet up with the line that I did on the first. And if you want to, you can keep on going all the way down. Although what I have just created there is, I'll just show you, is I've created a bit now, oops, that my overlap, so I will have to unpick that little bit there. So that's just to show you kind of what to avoid, if you will, and why you would avoid it. But anyway, we'll deal with that in a minute. So I'm just going to put another one, another divide down the centre there. And at any point you need to change the order or the instructions to suit what you want, just do it. There we are. So stitch that on there. Let's take these clips off. Just do some housekeeping while you're sewing around yours. The clips back on here. I don't know about you, I get a little bit OCD with my sewing equipment. It all has to be just so, all in the right places. So let's get it clipped on. We're on the home straight. Take the final pins out. Just put them safe. Oops. Right. I'm just going to move the sewing machine because for just a short while I've finished with it. Get my trusty unpicker out. We all need a trusty unpicker, don't we? Oh, this sewing roll, by the way, which is my everyday sewing roll. The scissors usually going in there. I'm doing at the Superior Sewing Centre at Carlisle on the 19th of February. Don't know whether they've got any places left, but if you want to join me to make the sewing roll, get yourself booked on. So I'll just take out these few stitches that I just did while showing you what not to do. Wouldn't be a proper sewer if I didn't use my unpicker at some point, would I? All proper sewers need that unpicker on a very regular basis, I've learned. But had this roof not gone so far over, wouldn't have really mattered about having to unpick it. So back to the curved scissors, and I can just lift this up and with the scissors flat trim the bottom of the roof. Now you might decide you want a little bit of a frayed edge there. You might not want to trim it all the way back to the stitch line, particularly if you're doing like a thatched effect. And this line here, I was a little bit wonky there, so what I've done is when I've cut it, I've resolved it with the stitch. So you can see that line there. Can I get closer? I went a bit wonky, just put it right with the stitch. There we go. Now, ooh, deep breath, because it's now time to cut it out. So we've got the outside cutting line, and just cut on the outside cutting line. I can't tell you how apprehensive I am doing this publicly. And again, if your drawing wasn't perfect when you were doing your the outer stitch there, I'm just going to go the merest little smidge the other side of it, because I want that stitch to stay holding the layers together. So just cut it bit by bit, nice and slow. Steady away, no prizes for racing. And it's not a quick, well, okay, you can whack these out like on a production line, but it's just a nice project to do. So this is a nice project, like if Granny wants to have some nice equipment to use to keep things in at home as an ornament or in your sewing room. Perfect for gifts. Hang them on your Christmas tree. Again, perfect. There's so many ways that you can use these little boxes. Get creative. New home. If you've got somebody who's moving into a new home, let's just come back and perfect this corner in a minute. And keep on cutting. Now I decided not to go right to the outside edge on the walls. Absolutely, I could have done, and on the others I have done. Why didn't I do it today? I have no idea. I know someone who's made the dinky little houses as wedding favours. That will be revealed next month when the wedding has been and gone. So that little notch there, that's important to take that notch out. See, the notches, that's for the folding. Now stuff like that, that's my leftover. If you wanted to do, use the leftovers, would you fit a dinky? I don't know, can you reduce the size of the dinky and make a dinky? That's entirely up to you if you want to do that. But that now, as you can see, we've got something that's starting to resemble the finished thing. So I've got one here that's kind of moved on a little bit. Let's do the windows next. Let's get those windows twinkling. So I quite like it's nice and tactile. Nice and tactile there. Okay, I'm just going to grab my bag of remnant bits because it's fallen off the desk at the other side, and a little bit of fusible web. Yes. Fusible web and gold fabric and whatever fabric you want. From now on, so this is our bag of offcuts of fusible web, right? And if I go in here, you can see we save everything, the whole lot. Bits like this are perfect for projects like this because that gold there is, the biggest size you want. So it's great for using up bits like this. I'm going to be a little bit more what's it today because I'm on my best behaviour, on my Sunday best behaviour. That doesn't happen very often, but hey ho. So let's have all those two do. So that's my fusible web. And then my gold. Again, we've got a bag of gold and silver offcuts. So we've got loads of bits of gold here. So great project for using up. We just save everything, all of it, because when you might just need just that little touch of gold and it's here. So just because we have it on the roll doesn't mean that we we do whatever. Now the only problem that I've ever had with this gold is over ironing, and I'm going to show you. And it first manifested itself on these boxes. So every time I got these out each year and I went down to create and craft and they were all crumpled, I put a gloved hand inside and them with the iron just to freshen them up. Can you see the windows of, I'm trying to show you in the best light. That's probably the best way. The bottom two windows there, can you see they've just dulled a little bit? The shine's kind of gone off a little bit. That's the only problem I've ever had with the gold, is just the, I mean, they still look gold. You know, I'm really struggling to show you that the gold has come off. But as I'm looking at it, I can see that those windows are, you know, they've got condensation inside. Let's just put it that way. In fact, if I put the proper gold next to it, you can see, can't you, that, I mean, okay, over years you won't have the fresh gold next to it. You'll just have that and it'll look perfect. So that's the only problem I've ever had with the gold. Right, now then, tracing onto your fabric. Where's my pen? Oh, there is a pen around here because I had it a short while ago. Somewhere. It's on the floor. You know, when you're using a little bit and you've only got a little bit and you want to trace everything within that little bit, put your little bit on your bonder web and just trace around your little bit. Oops. And then when you go on to your, oops, when you start tracing, I know that all my tracing has got to be within that shape. Oops, just glaring, these lights are a little bit annoying. So everything I trace has got to be within those lines that I've just drawn on. So if you've got a kit and you've only got a specified amount of a fabric, it's for applique, that's what you want to do. So now we're on to the good drawing. The one, we finished with the one which had the shape on, and this is the good drawing. And your windows and stuff, all you're going to do is you've got your bonder web, you've got your paper side, and you've got your scratchy side. Yep. So scratchy side down, draw on the paper. You don't have any issues with reversing on these, because does it actually matter whether your dog ends up on this side or that side? Or, I mean, your tree's your tree, it's okay. And your windows, Michaela always draws them wonky. So if everything's wonky, it doesn't matter if nothing's straight. So if you end up with that window in that position or that window over there, it does not matter. So don't worry. But if you are a perfectionist, what you can always do is number your windows here, and then, you know, so I've just shoved 1, 2, 3 in those. You can number them there, and then when you trace them, put your numbers in your tracing. So let's have a little go at thing. So where are we? Jonna loves the curved scissors. They're so handy. Did you not get any when I was selling them all? Make a dog house from. Hey, what a good idea, Rosemary. That is cool. I might ask Michaela if she'll do that. Yes, Louise also has need a quick unpick. It's our most trusted tool. So here we are tracing away. So just trace the outline of your windows. Now, don't trace that one there and this one here and that one there. Move your paper around so that you're going to trace them all fairly close together. And that way you're not going to have much waste. So I've done that one, I've done that one, and I don't even know if I'm doing the same one twice because I'm talking and not listening to what I'm doing. Nice and wonky. Let's kind of fit this one in. Yeah, I can fit this one in. That will go there. If I turn my paper on its side, oh, I can just fit another one in. Now, when I'm ironing the bonder web or fusible web onto the paper for the gold, I don't need a steam iron. But when I'm putting it onto the wool, I'm still going to use a steam iron, but carefully, and I might cover that up with a pressing cloth. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I've got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, that's inconvenient. And I've forgotten which one I haven't traced. So you see, it really doesn't matter how you place your windows. And I'll just put that out. I have a feeling that we may end up with visitors in a minute because with Dad not being 100%, we've got family down. They've been mucking in and helping out, and I have a feeling that Emily has just turned up home. So Emily may put in an appearance in a minute. It'd be nice, actually, I miss her. So right, so I'm just going to iron this paper with the drawings onto the back of my gold fabric. So I'll see you in a sec. You crack on with yours too. Pen, really enjoying watching as I make marrow and ginger jam. Oh, Pen, marrow and ginger. What a combo. Oh, brilliant, Louise. Oh gosh, it's nearly 10:30, isn't it? 12:30. Right, okie dokes. I'll just iron my gold on. So I hope that, like, you can see that if you were doing this on your own at home, you can get a production line going, and you can almost bosh. So in your kits, you've got fabric for 4, like the 4 that are on the cover. I may have altered a fabric or 2 along the way, but it won't be much different. You know, because obviously you don't always have the same fabrics in stock over time. But you could almost bosh them all off together. Bosh, that's a really good descriptive term, isn't it? So, and as Michaela's given you license to be wonky, if you want to make them a bit more wonky, you can. Or equally, if you want to straighten them up because wonky is not your thing, just do that. I have absolutely no idea which window goes in which position. Windows over there, scrap off the edge. So by tracing them all close together, I'm going to show you at the end how much waste I've got. It's barely anything. Breaking news. What's Trump done now? So out of the strip of gold that I had, the part that I traced around, oops, that's a window there, that is all that's left there. And then the spare window that I didn't have room for, there's a little bit more left on that side, but I could have been a bit more, you know, what you call it, with that. So that's my windows there. Now, if I wanted to, I could put them on the drawing and work out the positions if you've got enough time in your life. Don't forget that what you get now with the gold is a mirror image. So that one looks like it might have been traced from there. I've cut it definitely differently, have I? Or is it just upside down? Could be anything, doesn't matter. But if it really, if it worries you that that your windows might be different, I don't know what I've traced because nothing here corresponds to anything I've got. And I'm really not bothered because we've got the gist. Yeah, so that's kind of what I'm going to go with. If you're going to pin these on, just a word of caution, when you iron, you will get a scar from the pin. And also, the keen-eyed amongst you will notice that now we've turned to the right side, we are a mirror image. So the base is down here, where on the drawing it's over there. Oh, Sally's love watching this live with one eye as I'm still stitching Alice C for October wedding gift. Oh, lovely. New neighbours moving in next door, so we'll be handing a little house welcome gift. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Oh, the comments are really nice. So if you're a perfectionist and you want things to be exactly the same, your windows on this one are going to go over here. Your middle will still be the middle, and your this end will go over there. Now, that window is nearest the outside wall there. The outside wall's on the opposite side here. If you do it the wrong way around, though, don't worry about it. It's fine. So just give them a little juggle. Get the paper backing off the gold. Oh, that hasn't stuck properly. And that's stuck properly. It feels like it's stuck. How annoying. Do you know how to fix that? I'm just going to re-iron it. So that's the one there. It wants re-ironing. Let's hope that the rest of them are going to behave a bit. Because it is stuck. We can see it's stuck. Oh, that one's okay. Well, maybe it's just me. Maybe it is down. No, it's just me that's... no, that's definitely not stuck. On here. Just sometimes working on a small scale just can be a little bit naughty. Yeah, that one's okay. I'm just pressing down the edges of the... so that one's not stuck properly either. You could scratch with a pin, which arguably would give you a better lift, but sometimes on the gold it can just put a little scar on, which is why I'm persevering this way. Yeah, that looks like it's stuck. And then once I've done this, I'm going to take them back to the iron. This one's been naughty. So if you turn them round, it might be that it's stuck on one side, but not on the other. So if you start peeling from the better side, it will work. This is where you get to know that it's actually in real time that we're doing this. Now, I'm probably not going to do the embroidery in real time because we might be here for ages. But we'll just make a little token start on it. Will we be here for ages? Yeah, it's just the stitching, isn't it? The name, the sentiment. There we go. So you can see on the drawing here, you've got Michaela's full alphabet. Now, if you're working on cotton, you can trace that directly through. If you're working on wool, and I would trace it before, I don't know, how would you do it? No, you can't really trace it before, can you? Stuck in. Just copy it. But you know what? I actually think your own handwriting is the nicest, because I think that, no, it's not stuck properly, I'll do that one again. I think that my grandchildren know what my handwriting looks like, and I think that if I wrote it myself, I think that it adds to the personalness. But you've got Michaela's there, and it's not a difficult font to copy, if I'm honest. I know this because I've copied it many, many times. I've lost a window now. Oh no, 3, 2, 2. Right, I'm just going to go and reapply the iron. There's 3 of them that haven't stuck down, and I shall be back in a few minutes. Go in, get them all. Do they look okay? Yeah, they look fine then, don't they? Pressing cloths are good at this stage. Back in a sec. Dinky Little Houses is exactly the same way as well. How are we doing? Is everybody getting there? Oh, Janet. Hi everyone, sorry, missed it, just got in from the horses. Yes, Janet, this is available for 30 days on Facebook and it's just forever on YouTube. If you haven't got the pattern, about 10 minutes in, there is a link to get the download. But if you're going to do it after the session, you might as well get the posted one, which is on the full size paper, as opposed to the download, which is on A4. I mean, the download is fine, by the way. Get this paper off. These are the two that didn't stick, so I've reapplied the iron. And hopefully it's done the trick. So, seems to have done. And this one should wait a little bit longer really for it to cool down, but obviously I don't quite have that benefit. So I'll just spin it round again to see where I'm at. So I needed one of them on there. And the other one is going down the bottom on the other end. So it'll go there like that. I'll just bob back to the iron. Oh, by the way, my pressing cloth, I'm using a Teflon oven sheet, the kind that you get from like Poundland for £1 or whatever shop that you can get them for dirt cheap. And we keep them years. The last one still don't want to stick. I must have inadvertently left the stuff on. Anyway, I'm just going to get over it. Oh, it stuck a bit. Right. Let's put my little scraps away. I mean, I don't know whether it surprises any of you that we keep scraps down to that nth degree, but saves a fortune. Now the windows are like little sash window type things. I'll just lift the sewing machine up, then I can balance this on the top. That's a bit better, isn't it? So your these easier to show you. Yeah, this is one. Here's one I did earlier. So if you're not sure, you know, like that little house that you draw with the cross and you've got to get round with your pen in one go, just have a little go at something like that. So that's what we've started with, just a blank house. I am aware that it's glaring on the camera, so but we've got what we've got. There's not what we can do with that. So you started out with just a blank square, and then you're going to divide it into 4 in a sash window. Personally, I find if I get the cross out of the way first, it holds the thing down. So I would go all the way down and then round the side and then back across, and then I would go twice round. And going twice round disguises any, like, you know, lines where you've kind of made a mess chugging round. And you can also go twice over these if you want. So you might go down, round, across, round, and then just up and down again. You might do it that and then finish off with one whole circuit just to tidy it up. Or you might just be happy with doing one, or you might have your own. You might want to do leaded windows, you know, do like a cross hatch. This is up to you. This is your project. Cross hatches, I'm going to warn you, take a lot longer, and you've 7 windows. And if you're making 4 with the kit, that's 28 windows to cross hatch. That's a heck of a lot of stitching. But you just do these. Michaela's slogan, wonky is best. Don't even try and be neat. Now, as you can see here, as I'm coming closer, I hope it's not getting too fuzzy. Like down here, this edge right down here, I'm just going to get my fingernail under it. The stitching hasn't come right to the edge. I don't know if you can make that out. Now, personally, I like the stitching to be nearer to the edge, because over time, those edges just come up and they fold in a little bit, which personally is not to my taste. Now, if you've stitched round and you find you've got these edges, get your scissors again and just snip them back. So that's taken off that little piece there, which is now not going to go dog-eared because it doesn't exist. The only downside is if you've stitched really well in, you're going to be trimming off an awful lot. So if you get to a place where you've gone round and you're quite well off all the edges, just go around again in that no man's land, and that would be enough to get you a nice window. As I say, wonky's good. We've used dark brown thread for these because it just shows up nicer, but that's personal preference. If you wanted to use brilliant white to reflect nicely glossed windows, go for it. If you want to do green because you're more like country, whatever, go for it. Because from now on, this is your bespoke project, and it's up to you how you do it. And also, there's a difference. Let me just come up and have a face to face. Let me have a face to face with you. Oops. Let's be blunt. There's a difference in recipient. So if you've got some new neighbours and you don't know yet whether they're going to be best friends or worst enemies, you don't want to waste a lot of time on their little house. But yet, if you're giving this to your granddaughter, or you're very special person, then you're going to go that extra mile and you're going to put a lot extra effort in. So from this point on, you're thinking about what you want to do, what you want it to look like, who's receiving it, and how much effort that person's worth. I mean, you don't. A certain person who I shall not name soon made one of our wreaths for her granddaughter, no, one of her daughter for Christmas, who displayed it once and then sent it to the charity shop. Oops. That story will never be forgotten. But we also know people, you've gone to the trouble of making a fantastic quilt for someone and then it becomes the dog bed. So, you've got to think who you're giving it for. But also I know people who would just devour every stitch that I stitched for them and cherish it and love it and all the rest. Those people, you're going to go that extra mile. So it's entirely up to you and what you think. Now, where up to press we've stitched, I'm going to go, excuse me, I'm going to go back out of sight and downhill. Just a second. There we go. So where up to press we've stitched from the back, everything now can be done from the front. Because if you hold this up to the light, you are definitely not going to see the window placement. So just stitch from the front now, which for many of you is going to make life a lot easier. And also take the opportunity to switch to your applique foot because you've got all that visibility in the middle there. So let's swap my foot over, and then also oops. And if anybody came back from our retreat in April with my zipper foot, just let me know and I'll send you a stamped addressed envelope. The blinking thing, I've absolutely no idea where it went. So disappeared that day, but do you know what? It's chaos, isn't it, when everyone's got the machines out? So you just have to take it on the chin sometimes. So this is a dark brown thread. It's just a dark nutty brown. This is a Wonderfil. So I quite like this shade of brown. Gutermann do a nice throw, because for a project like this you don't need to be a purist. Because don't forget, you've mixed your fabrics up anyway. You've got the gold, you've got your wool, or you might be remaking in cotton. Again, you know, if it's your new neighbour you're wanting to impress, you might not want to risk wool on them. And also, colour-wise, you know, you can go with whatever you want. So you could like use florals, just whatever you want. So, right, my stitch length is still set at 3.5. Now, you can have a little practice, you know, on a little layered up piece that you put some gold on. But do you know what? I'm just going to go for it. And if anybody wants to jump in and visit and show progress so far, feel free. Let's have a read. Vanya, that's why it's best to keep selling. Yes, Vanya, we love selling. We love making, and we do love keeping. But we also, I think we do love giving, don't we? Yeah, right. Now then, I'm really disappointed that I don't have my sideways in camera when I'm doing this. So I'm just going straight across the centre, needle in, spin it round. I want to get one stitch closer. You know what I said about leaving like a dog-eared bit? If you go with your needle just over the edge, you know, when you're doing your crossways, it's going to help. Now also at this stage, I'm cutting off. I've got this, you can't see, it's not coming out enough. This first length of thread, I'm just cutting that off. Yeah, just so I don't have the dog ear, because on the small scale they are prone to getting in the way. Take your time, just go around. I forgot to do my crossways one. Am I bothered? No. I'll do it this time. So halfway down the side, spin it and go around. Not even in the middle. Am I bothered? Not in the slightest. And just keep going down. So if I'm going to go twice round, I will come back on and then come up and do the second visit through the middle. Now deliberately try not to stay on that line. If you're on it, then fine. And then when I'm coming back round for the second time, I've got a little margin between my stitch and the end of the gold. So as I'm coming round the second time, I'm stitching in that margin. And what that means is that it's removing all that dog-earedness. It no longer exists because I've stamped it down. I'm going to show you in a sec when I get round. You'll see these windows look quite dark. Don't racetracks on again. He's a bit slower. Speed camera must be out. We have a mobile speed camera van, and they're always around on days like this. And you can tell where they are according to how fast the motorbikes are going. Is it going to be a lap record or not? This is the first one done. Now, as you can see, I've gone round 3 sides. I've only gone round that one once, so I might just go back on and finish that off. But so in this no man's land here, I had quite a bit. So the second time round, I just filled in that margin just a little bit, and it just helped. So I'm going to carry on. I'm going to stitch around all my windows while you're doing the same. And as I say, if anybody wants to come on and share with us what you've done today, then we can do that. I can send you a little link and you can follow it. Quite nice, wasn't it, that? Who's actually making alongside? How are we doing? Are you keeping up? This would be a nice project to do when it's cold and it's rainy outside and horrid. Although some of you who live down in the southeast, who've had a tremendous summer, are you like ready for a bit of cooler weather now? My daughter's just over from Australia, and she's brought her English summer stuff, which is basically, oh, we've got visitors, right? It's okay, right? We'll come and say hello, so you get to meet our little lady again now. Hang on.
Sorry, she's been asking for since 6:30 this morning.
It's quite all right. Right, my little darling, are you coming up here? Come on then. Oh, tell everybody where have you been today? Oh, so this is Emily.
Hi.
So talking to that camera there,
Oh.
you say hello everybody.
Hello, everybody.
Who have you got in your hand?
Yeah.
I'm looking.
I got
Is that Mirabelle
Rebel
from Encanto?
and Louisa.
Oh, Louise. Oh, do we like them? So are you on the telly, Em?
everybody. I got Nigel,
Mirabelle
Mirabelle,
and
who's that one?
Louisa.
Oh.
Rita.
So where have you been just now?
I went with my friends.
Did you?
Yeah,
Have you been looking at some plant pots?
yeah.
We found the Gruffalo, didn't
We've got a plant pot festival in Settle right now. And
For them also.
you can have a go in a sec. There, put them down, sweetie. So proper debut here.
And then we got some numbers.
Yeah, what was your favourite plant pot?
And I love the Gruffalo, everybody.
You see, we've got a little actress in our midst here. And you know where to talk to, don't you, that camera there?
Can I go see it going?
Of course you can.
She's in. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll see you later.
And then
It is coming for the
do
door.
you want to doodle me, Rennie?
Come on, are we having a doodle? Well, I'll tell you what, Mummy and Auntie Jem, come on here. Come on, come on. I'm going to introduce you to the family because we never ever get together. So, so in that camera over there. So this is Jem from Australia. She's from Australia, and this is Nat, and she's totally uncomfortable in front of the camera. So yeah, and he come in is come on. Isabel's found Donald and Jacqueline. Mummy, maybe we need to just take Donald off her.
Okay, right, well.
Oh, she's here. Oh, we're going to have a little look at Donald. Come on then. Thank you. Can you come in? Oh, now we're going to have Jacqueline join us too.
Right, well, I'm.
Okie dokie. I'll see you later. Hang on. Come on then. Are you coming? Just a sec, everyone. Oops. Come here. Oh. And this is our little. So say hello. Gonna say hello, Isabel.
Mommy.
I will say Mammy instead. Where have you been? She's been sleeping, perhaps. Right, I'll get on with my sewing now.
Go get some dinner. Oops.
She comes to you and she goes, "Oh no, what happened?"
Your favourite would know is George. Shake it.
Oh right, okay. I'll just put my dollies back. There we go. Want M good for the camera. There we go. Oh, thank you, everyone. Oh, Janet's doing a Christmas card prep. You can free motion around the windows, Sarah Jane. No problem at all. Knitting and watching, Rosemary. Ooh. Oh, Pat, you're making yours. Yeah, they are extremely sweet. Extremely sweet. So where's my presser foot gone? Right, let's get on with some stitching. Okay. So let's just have a meander around these windows and get them done. And I think Princess Mirabelle's about to make a return. She's okay, Mummy. Right, hang on, let's get you some steps so you can stand up. Right. Oops. Oh. There. So while Granny does some sewing, are you going to talk to everyone on the camera on there? In fact, we're the wrong side, aren't we? Let's swap you over. Up. Stand on there a second. I'll move my presser foot.
Hi guys.
Hi, guys.
Hi guys. My name is Emily. And so this is Granny. This is Granny. Granny, say hello.
Hello, everybody. Don't fall off the stool, will you?
And them are my toys. And well, I needed the toys.
Oh, all right then, Jugo.
Um,
There we go. You can come back when you're ready, okay? There we go. There's an insurance policy, she'll be back. Don't you love the littlies? They just come out with all sorts. Just take off these stray threads as we go around. I don't know about you, but I hate it. You know, when you get to the end of a project and then you've got to start cutting all your stray threads. I cannot stand that final job. Totally sweet. You might not be saying sweet in a bit because I have a suspicion that now she's home, she's going to be. Do you know? It's been so lovely. Dad being so unwell that the family have all got together. So obviously not the happiest of occasions, but being spread across the world, it's just nice to have them all here when you need them. So are you all keeping up, or are we miles behind? I'm just trying to pace it for where we should be at. It's done that one. It's 2 windows done. On to my 3rd now. I mean, if you wanted to put all the applique on at the at once, you can do. But I wanted to get the windows down first. Sometimes when you stick everything on at once, you run the risk of certain bits just peeling back or whatever. So just putting a little bit on at once. Can be quite useful. I don't know about you guys, if you're sewing along, I'm like disappearing into my own world now. Quite happy, a little bit of applique to do. Nowhere in particular to stitch to. You're just following it round and just enjoying the moment. Not bothered if I missed the line, hit the line or whatever. And I quite like that about Michaela's work, that she takes all the stress out of it. You don't have to be perfect. She's a bit of a Christmas queen as well, so quite a lot of our Christmas designs do originate from Michaela. And also, if you've got a crafting group, I think Michaela is currently on about teaching workshops, so she's available to visit. Let me think. Oh, that's my thread. How are you doing? I'm on window number 4. Plod along. Chug, chug, chug. Oh, next Friday, all depending. Couldn't do on this Friday. Bad. Oh, hi, you've got more in Canto, have you? Yours still up here. That's it. That's me in it. More Encantos. Right. I have a feeling, ladies and gents, you're about to get a big reveal.
Open.
Well, that's okay. You can open them all. We'll have a look at your figures. I don't know if you can tell, but Emily's just got the slightest little twang of a Geordie accent developing. But it's not Encanto, it's Encanto. Is that what it's called? Which obviously been raised by a Yorkshire girl. Her Geordie hasn't been the strongest in the early days, but now she's at nursery, it's picking up a little bit of momentum. Oh, I'm doing the sewing. You do. Tell you what, I'll put a snip in that. Have another one. Let's put a snip in it. Oh, you got that one. Make this one. There you go. Excuse me, everyone, if there's too much crackling down the line while she's opening her Encantos. Apologies to everyone who speaks with a Newcastle type accent. Mine's rubbish. Chuggy, chuggy, chuggy. Every window I've done, I've done a different path down there.
I'm seeing more. Bye.
Oh, are you going now? When you're a bigger girl, are you going to do some sewing with Granny? Are you going to help Granny make things? Go and see. That's some thread. So that's Granny's thread. We'll put that there. Okay. Looking quite nice, these. So that's 4 down and 3 to go. So they very, very quickly start to look good. I mean, if you wanted to get, really busy, you could put curtains in there and all sorts, couldn't you? Do you know what I would do, though, if I wanted to put curtains in? I would put the curtains on and then I would stitch the cross on, because that would hold your curtains in. But it would mean the curtains were on the inside as opposed to the outside of the window. So that could be quite a neat thing to do. And then on the back, see, it's quite tidy. But no one's going to see that because, as we discussed at the start, it's inside your box. So let's just carry on plugging around these windows. Plugging round. Have you thought of any other craft alongs that you'd like to do? I could do brand new stuff if it's just quick stuff. Like there's a quick technique that you want to do. Or if there's one of our projects that you want to do. One of the ones that I did have in my mind to do was the Bobbin birdhouse. In fact, I'll go get it, I'll show you. this is a nice Christmassy project, but it doesn't have to be Christmas. Birdhouse. So it's just a nice one to do. You can, you know, do it how you want. Kit wise, I probably would try and make this a bit cheaper. So we use the wool back and front. So that's 2 pieces, 2 thicknesses. I probably would just do one on the front just to keep the cost down. But I could do this if you fancied a go. It's quite a neat one, and actually I've just seen them. It lends into, these were the first that we did of this style. We did, there were fairy doors. So that one's got a hedgehog sleeping in it. This one is a fairy. Make sure I'm showing you properly. And this one is a witch. I did have a frog and a squirrel, but they have been nicked by the grandchildren that were up in Scotland. I'll try and get them back off them. Oh. But so those and these are more or less the same technique that we did. So kind of quite nice. I like the idea of putting these, you know, like on the skirting board, you know, down at the bottom of the door or something like that. So, but they're just quite neat, and you can use like lots of scrap bits on them. So that's some ideas that we could do if you wanted to do another craft along. Loving the hedgehog and oh yeah, thanks Chris. Oh, Lyra's been helping. Oh yeah, the Egyptian stuff. I'm going to do some little short videos. So you know I've been doing the shorts. Well, Vanya, you will have seen them because I know you follow YouTube. They've all been on YouTube, but I'm like putting them onto my Facebook page. So I was scheduling them. So because we'd already done them, it was easy to do. But obviously this last week, I just haven't had a chance to breathe. I'm trying to get my sewing street stuff done. I'm trying to do my sewing street stuff without saying I'm at the hospital with my dad and things aren't great. Don't cancel my show, please, because I'm skint. So yeah, so I've been trying to get that done this week, and thankfully it is all done. So when I go on the 1st of September, I think it might be a Monday. We're doing 1 hour that's autumn and 1 hour that's Christmas. That's what they wanted. So it's quite nice there, because when I did create and craft, you had so much stuff. Like the let's say for instance, this was on there, and we'd go down the counter and you're back, welcome. You might go, and look at this Robin birdhouse. Oh. And you've put like loads of time in, and it gets 30 seconds. So the great thing about, oops, hang on a sec, we've got one for you to look at. The great thing about Sewing Street is that you get to actually have a look. Do you like that one?
Yeah.
Did you see some fairies yesterday?
Yeah.
Tell everyone at home about the fairies we saw. I'll just put this over here.
Everybody has some fairies at home.
We went for a walk, didn't we?
Yep.
And what happened with the fairies?
It flowed away and got on my face.
But I don't think it went on your face. We were out on a fairy hunt with Auntie Jem, and we were looking for fairies, and then all of a sudden you saw one, didn't you, in the trees? You can't beat young imaginations, can you? Have you got them all? These are the little people that you'll put that extra stitch in for. I've been thinking for a while, and it's not an original idea, but oh, thank you, my darling. I'm going to put it over there, and then it's not out in not in the way. Is that okay? Thank you. I've seen them advertised, but I thought I could have a go at my own based on those fairy doors. You know, the storybooks where it's that kind of thing where you open the door and when you go inside, there's a whole story. So the other grandchildren in Scotland, their imaginations are wow. So I've been trying to get them to come up with some like original ideas that you know, because the concept isn't exclusive, but it's what you do with it that makes it your own, isn't it? So we're trying to get them to come up with something. You never know, might even get them on the telly with me demonstrating it. Wouldn't that be fun? Oh, Pat's ready to show hers. Ah, Pat, shall I send you a link? I'll do it on the phone. Hang on a sec. Hang on it. Right. Invite guest. Just a sec. Right, I'm sending you a link, Pat. So when you get that, you know the drill. You can tap on it, and then you can come and show us what you've done. So I think you're on Dinky Little Houses, is that right? Oops. Oh, Nicola, thank you. Slimming world. So I'm just trying to keep it together at the minute. It's the first time that I'll have had a big crisis and not like resorted to the bread bin or the biscuit cupboard or whatever like that. So I'm just keeping an eye on there because I've sent Pat a link. She's going to show us what she's done. Oops, stood on my foot. Hang on, we've got a photo. Oh wow, you've worked really fast. Can you come on and show everybody, Pat? Because I don't think I can share that onto the page. Do you want to show people? It's up to you. I'm not putting you under any pressure. Oops. Don't put you under pressure if you sat there in your jammers and your rollers, Pat. Not that I'm suggesting you wear rollers or even jammers. Spinning it backwards and forwards. So like some lines I've done twice and some I've only done once, and I'm trying to get to the ones that I need to get to. So I'm spinning these windows around to just work for me. There. Getting there now. Just one more to go. One more to go, and then we can have a look at Christmas trees. Oops. If anybody else would like to come on and show their thank you, Nicola. So do you want to come on, Pat, and share yours yourself? Because I can't get it up live in the thread, I don't think. So it'd be nice to have a pal. So the dinky little houses, you've got yours together so quickly compared to us with the bigger ones. So you can really get that production line cracked on. I feel euphoric that I'm at Windows 7. I've got to face some of the projects that Michaela's sent for us to do. Window-wise, we've felt exasperated. Michaela of the shiny windows. What was she doing? The Noel and the oh golly gosh, what do you call it? Silent Night. In fact, I'll show you them. They use this technique. So now you've bossed off this technique of stitching from behind. You could, if you felt adventurous, move it on. I can show you the projects. I've sent you a link, Pat. Can you follow it? Just tap it, you know, like you did last time. So that's my windows done there. There we go. I'm going to move my sewing machine out of the way and get back into my bit box with me. Maybe I'll ladders over there, because you know she's going to be back now. She's found her feet. Need some green. Got that and I've got that. Yeah, all being well, I have got a load of remnants to do a tweed sale with, and I've also got a burgeoning box of small remnants which we use all the time, kind of like these. Yeah. What I might do is weigh some bags out of those and do some of those if you want, which there's no guarantee for what's in there, but we could do some of those. Right, where are we? I want a few greens for my. So if you've got the kit, you've already got enough greens in there. If like me, you're working from the bit box. I've got a bit of that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 greens. Is that? Oh, I only need 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. Okay, let's get my little pieces of fusible web again. We'll have another little scrap. Okay, I'm going to switch you onto a downhill. Oh, can't see it. Right, hang on. I'll send another one. Invite guest. Copy link. I'll just send you that. It's on your same text message. That's sent to you. Right, has that one come through, Pat? So the photograph you sent me, you've got a duck before that. Just ignore that one. It's the duck after that one. That's your link, or the words underneath it. Just tap around. You've had one of these before. You know how it goes. You've had one before. So right. So we've got here the little Christmas tree. Now, can you see it's a different green on every level? Now, you can do the same green all the way up if you want, or if you've got the kit, you will have 4 greens for your tree, and the smidgy tiny little bit at the top, that green, is the same green as for the topiary tree. So trace them out together, and then you don't whack the little bit in the middle and end up, you know, with you know what I mean. So like if you've just got a small little bit like I have there, you might put that on your fusible web and draw around it, and then you can trace whatever within that square, and you know it's going to fit on your fabric. So my little trees, let me pattern, where's it gone? So I'm going to trace the trees. I'll go on a downhill. Where are we? Camera. Downhill. Right, so we're downhill. Didn't make a lot of sense, but it will. I've got all our Encanto figures. So hope they're all watching. All our little family of Encantos here. I hope she's back. She's back. Hi, Hi. Right. I'm just. Oh, I just moved it over here. Do you want it back? But people can't see you at the minute because we're on a downhill camera. So I'm going to trace each layer of the tree, and I'm going round.
Do you love your bracelet?
I love my bracelet. Shall I show everybody my bracelet? So the bottom piece of the tree, I'm not talking about the pot, just the bottom part of the green, I've traced it precisely, and then can you see above it there's a little dotted line, and the reason I've done this, did you? Can I just talk to these ladies? So the reason I've done it like this, whoops, is that part there is going to be visible, and the part with the dotted line above, that will slide under the next piece, so you're not going to have that unsightly gap there. So with the exception of the star at the top, add a little piece onto all the sections. Can you see? It's just strobing a little bit in the lights, isn't it? So you can see I've drawn a little bit extra at the top there. So apologies there, the light's just been rubbish. Right, you're on Granny's workstation. Can you jump down? Yes. Yes. There you go. I'm just going to do some.
I had an ice lolly.
Did you? What flavour ice lolly did you have?
A watermelon
A
one.
watermelon. Right, just let go of my arm. I don't need to tumble. So work your way up the tree, and each one just give a little bit of space between so that you've got room for cutting out. Trace it precisely, and then add a little bit extra. And I'm just going to number them to make life easy. Well, it won't be difficult because they're quite. That's for Granny, that one. And what I've done when I've made mine is I've ordered my colours so it's darkest at the bottom and lightest at the top. I mean, you can do it whatever way you want, but it just looks a little bit more appealing that way. Right, that's my opinion. Trace my star, which is going to go on some gold. And it's a real wonky star, so if you make a mess tracing it. Now, the little dog, on ours, he's just stitched. Yeah. If you want to applique a dog, there is no fabric in there for the dog because we've stitched him, but there's no reason why you couldn't go into your bit box and just get a colour out that is like your dog or whatever. It's kind of a generic dog. So stitch or applique, doesn't matter which. And then what else have we got? So I'm going to, while I'm on with this, I'll trace the door, the little door window, plant pot obviously, and the topiary tree. This side has just got stitch on it. So let's do that. So that's my door this way. looking about with my scraps. Your door doesn't need any extra on because it's going to go down to the baseline. And also where you've got a dotted line across here, which I've never mentioned, that is your seam allowance line. So your applique that goes below that line is going to be trapped in the seam. So you've no need to worry about, you know, things not being right up to the edge. And that's my window. I'm just going to put the W on for window so I don't forget. And all my little plant pots and door use red. So I'm going to trace them all close together. Oh, hello, Isabel. Hmm?
Look.
It's, oh, yeah.
Come on, Granny's working.
It's okay.
Mommy.
Right. So that's all the Christmas tree done. That's the door done. That's the plant pot. And then I want the top, which I wanted to put that there. So listen to your own advice, Anthea. Listen to your own advice, which I didn't. So just squeeze that on there like that. Now you could draw that topiary tree as a circle if you don't want to cut round all those little edges. Doesn't really matter either way.
Hello.
Hello. And then roughly cut your shapes out. You're not going to cut them out on the line because if you cut them on the line, it never quite fuses as well when it's so close to the line. So we've got maybe Isabel wants taking off the machine. That could be a good one, Mummy. Oh, lovely. Okay. Oh, just open it. What have we got? Oh, we've got a cowboy and we've got lots of other dollies. There you go. I'll have a look at those later, Mummy.
I'm trying to get her.
My greens are slightly different from yours because I am in the bit box. Brace yourselves, everyone. We're having an objection. Yeah. Ah, Pat's there. Let's put Pat on. Pat, hello.
Hi there. I've had my hair cut, so I look a bit different. All my hair's gone.
Can't hear you, Pat.
Oh.
I can't. No.
You muted me. Can you hear me now?
Well, why can't I hear you? I'm just edit the mic settings.
Oh, I don't know.
No, I haven't got any sound from you, Pat.
Hang on.
Ah. Oh, that's annoying. Let me just try on this one. Anything?
I don't know. Can you hear me now?
Oh, blooming it. Oh, this is a nuisance.
I don't know.
Just mute and unmute up here. Oh, you can hear Pat. It's just me then. Oh, I'm on mute.
Yeah.
Hi,
Can you hear me now?
I can. It's me, not you. Yeah. There we
Oh
go.
dear.
How are you doing?
I'm all right.
I'll come on a face-up camera. Give us a sec.
Okay.
There you are. Right. So look, we've got Pat there with
All
us
this,
as well.
all this technical stuff. Hello.
Hello.
Say hello to
What
that
you
one
doing?
there.
Hello.
So hi, Pat.
Hello. Hi.
So,
What you
you've been
doing?
changing your hairstyle.
Yeah.
It suits you.
I grew all the dye out, so I've gone
No,
grey.
that one
She's-
you.
she's talking to her audience.
I have to keep it all away. I can't be here.
Oops, we've got little. I am, she says. Little sister says, I am. Stand on your stool, Em. There we go. So we're breeding all these like leg ends in their own lifetime, Pat. So let's have a look at your house. How are you doing with it? Oops. That looks fab. That looks really
It's just
good.
the windows.
Oh no, we're not ringing trolls.
I know how to do. I know how to do windows, so I just cracked on and started and did them all.
So just stand on your own. So on the bottom here, have you clipped in the corners? Yeah.
Yeah.
So now yours is as simple as right side together, bend the first corner,
Yeah.
stitch, and then work your way around the base.
Yeah.
So just stitch the next one.
Yeah.
And then work your way around the base, finishing, just a second, finishing with that side seam coming up. So it's just that last seam that can be a little bit fiddly, but then come up, and once you've done that, turn it through.
Yeah.
Now, I don't think you'll need to clip anything to turn it through, but if you need to, do it. And then your roof, which is different to the ones that we're doing, we've got a couple of part-done ones here. So I was in two minds whether to cut a double-sized roof and fold it round the in-half form, you know, so you only had three sides to stitch. But then I thought it's gonna look uneven, isn't it? One side will be different. So I personally cut roofs and one in-half form. Now you can sew them and then cut them back if you want, but the beauty of doing them this way, now this isn't a tidy sample because this was done for Sewing Street with thread that doesn't match. But can you see with the zigzag, I've gone right off the edge so that there's no inner form visible.
Yeah.
So
I was thinking of doing blanket stitch.
Yeah, that's
I was
great,
thinking of doing blanket stitch. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe have like a little demo first. But with the zigzag, what I did was the needle on here and then off the edge on here and then off the edge, and doing that kind of zipped up the side.
Not quite a satin stitch.
No.
Yeah,
No,
that's a good.
Yeah, play around with your stitch length and width to get something you like.
Yeah.
But I thought, okay, it's tatty and the thread doesn't match because I needed it to show up on camera. But you know, all the sides are
enclosed.
Yeah. Although having said that, it doesn't offend me if they don't.
Right.
These are enclosed. This is a bit more of a robust satin stitch. And in the matching thread, I don't think you can tell. So they're all right, aren't they?
Yeah, they're nice.
Yeah. These have got a matching purple. And again, it doesn't show. So now mine, the stitch down, because mine are like for demonstration purposes. I'm trying to like keep them as they should be. And when you're trying to show them off and someone's going, so I've stitched them down. But what you can do is stitch one side. I might be tempted to put it on. Yeah. And then stitch it, have it open, and stitch onto the roof there. Yeah. And bring it over and put on the other side press stud or a button loop.
Yeah,
just a little
good idea.
Yeah, you know, like you.
And then you can put little. You can put little prezzies in it, then, can't you? Little.
Yeah. I was trying to think.
Christmas
when you start your crochet off, and that first row that you do for your crochet. You know the one. Where you just one thread over the top, and you can make a little loop out of that. You know, make a little loop using that there, an
Yeah.
embroidery thread,
Yeah.
and put a little button on, or
Yeah.
a press stud. But your press stud, to me,
Yeah.
you've got the issue of keeping it flat, and I didn't want it to look
Mhm.
like one ear was down and one ear was out. So that's kind of ideas for that.
Yeah.
Before you put it on as well, do your ribbon. I'm embarrassed at this
Yeah.
one. I singed it so that it wouldn't fray and look, I made a mess. I nearly set it on
Oh,
fire.
dear.
didn't I?
Only you.
Well, you're right. I did it with John Scott and he's waffing it around. I'm thinking,
Well,
please,
there
just
you go then.
your fingers anyway, don't matter.
There you go.
Although-
Blame John Scott.
Yeah, but the ribbon I would put on before you stitch it down. We're going to come
Yeah.
to that with the presents are coming, but it's just, you've got your length of ribbon and it's just stitched across the middle there. So, but we'll come to that with the presents are coming, but that would be the difference with yours, is that where it folds, just stick your ribbon there, and your ribbon is just then tied in a knot so that you've got a loop. Whereas the others, they're loose so that you can tie them. You see the difference? Yours are going to hang, these are going to tie. I think you're frozen. We just have a jiggle. Ah, we've frozen, Pat. Oh, never mind. Right, let's get on with this. Get on with this tree. Let's do a downy camera again. There we go. We've got Rosemary could make a cotton loop and blanket stitch along it. You could, Rosemary. I was just thinking if you did it in stitch, it would be less bulky. That was my my thought process there. I know Michaela's original one, that's what she did. She did a little thread loop, and it was quite discreet. So let's get my stuff out the way. So we've got here, I'm playing around with my greens, so my greens aren't strictly the same as yours. And I don't want to go to a lighter one there. I've got this green. This green here will come in. That will give me the colour that I'm missing. So that's my darkest, mid, top. Ooh, that looks a bit wishy-washy, doesn't it? Let's have this one instead. Yeah. What do you reckon? Should that one go above there? I think it should, shouldn't it? Yeah, it's not perfect, but it'll do for what we want today. And you know when we're always on about keeping scraps and leftovers, because, you know, you might only want something for this much. So they're all red. And I think we've got everything. Right. That'll do for now. So I need to get some red, which I've got. A piece of red there. So I'm just going to put the teeth in. I'm going to nip over to the iron and get these bonded down. Got a little piece of gold there that'll do for them. So I'll do that, and while you're stitching or keeping up, we'll rendezvous in a minute. Right, back we are. Let's get these cut out now. Yeah, the thread rosemary. Oh, thanks, Margaret. Do you want the last bit on the making up the... Man, you can watch later if you want. Just skip to the end and do the joining it all up. We can do that then. So I'm just cutting these out now. Let's get these cut out. So when you get any scrap bags off us and you get little bits like that, you know exactly what's happened. That's usually... Sue was here, isn't it, Sue? Our lovely Sue. The bits, that's 1 and 2. Here's piece number 3. Let's get this one cut. So I've got my extra bits that are gonna go underneath. Oops. When you're drawing them and you look on the line and it all looks sensible, then when you're cutting them out, you're really wondering what it is you drew. There we go. And usually when you're cutting out, you end up just a little bit wider than your original because you're cutting on the line, or when depending how you cut, might end up a smidge narrower, but you get kind of to know your own thing. Now I drew the topiary tree with all its wiggles, but actually when it comes to it, am I going to cut so many wiggles? I'm just going to like move this around as I'm cutting and just see what happens. It doesn't have to be exact, and if you wanted a perfect circle, that's fine as well. Did I answer the question about... So there we go. It's not a perfect circle, so it's somewhere in the middle because it's not as wiggly as Michaela's drawing. And that's the thing about applique drawings. Take what you want from it. Take the bits out that you want. Sounds like we're on for another lap of the racetrack outside. So your plant pots, the one that the Christmas tree's in has got a little extra on top. The other one is just as on the drawing. Now what I'm going to do for the topiary tree, for the stalk, I'm going to just stitch it. And that's a real simple way to get anything that is, you know, that's not like... It's not easy to do, should I say. Oh, I've done my star. I've got a window and a star. Now my window for the door, I'm going to stitch it onto the door before I stitch the door onto the house, because it's just easier to put it under your sewing machine that way. Star's a little fiddly, but it's just a stylized star, so if it ends up yours looks different, no big deal. We just go with it. Deep in my own thoughts again. That's it. So that's that. And that's that. Right. Let's see where we're going now. So we've got, let's get rid of all these bits of scrap. we've got the door, which is going to have the window stitched on before. It's a bit wonky there, I'll just straighten it a bit. It's going to have the window stitched on before I put that onto the house. My dog, I'll turn it around the right way to you. There we go. My dog is going to be stitchery. The plant pot here, I'm going to put the plant pot on, then I'm going to stitch up and down a few times here, and then I will put the topiary tree on, so that that stitching is behind. You could even put your stitching on before you put that on if you wanted to. So say he's going to be stitched, and then the plant pot begin at the bottom, and you can see that plant pot goes into that first tree area. So what's this one? Is it? No, I've got that one. So that's gonna cover that. The next will cover the next, and the next will cover the next. And you can see it's overlapping, oops, all the way up until we get to the star at the top. So that is how you make the tree. It's just interesting. Let me hold it up to the camera. So much more interesting built out of these different coloured layers. Struggling to get the colours in there. Whether you can make the colours out at home, but you will when we're done. Let me hold the real one up. Can you see the different colours there as they go up? Just adds a lot of interest, doesn't it? So let's get my actual one. Do you know what I'm going to do? I am going to just put those to one side until I've done the door. Because the door's in the centre, I need to put that on and the tree to make sure that I've got room and that I don't have to budge something over to the side. So let's do it that way. So I'll budge these to one side while I lift the machine back in. Oops, here we are. Machining, I'm leaving the dark brown thread in because I just like that. If you want to use matching threads, that's entirely up to you. I'm going to start off, peel the backing off the gold, which doesn't want to come away properly. It's very naughty, is this today? It'll work. It'll work because it's one little window. I can cope if it doesn't stick down. Yeah, I'm just going to put it on and hope for the best. I will take the backing off the door first. I don't want to come off here either. Come on, little thing, come on. Oh, it's coming better-ish. Wonder if I've been rushing and not just held the iron on for long enough. It's probably what I've done. There's enough on there though for what I want. Put my window on. And then under the machine, and exactly the same as before. I don't want to play right because it's the fusible web has been very, very naughty. But I'm just going to disregard that. Oh no! Emily's changed my stitch, I think. Oops. Oh, it'd be Isabel, won't it? Little tiny one. We're on some kind of wonderful stitch. Oh, that's the joy of children, isn't it? Hopefully I've only done a couple of stitches. No one's ever going to know. Once I've stitched that down, it'll all be a secret just between you and I. Oh, the blinking machine's coming. No, it hasn't come unthreaded. There. I won't tell if you don't. Oh no, it's even worse. What has happened here? Oh, you little tinker tonker. A quick on off, I think, is what's called for. A quick on off, and right, here's another Quilting Antics little hack for you. Instead of unpicking that, which is going to look really scarred and horrid, I'm just going to cut another window, see what it's like for size, trim it down a bit, and put it straight over the top. No one's even going to know. As I say, I won't tell if you don't. So here we go. That's a mess. I'm not unpicking it. Just put that over the top. Bob's your uncle, Fanny's your aunt. Will be a new design feature. Spin it round. Just quietly away. Tick, tick round. Because I've gone across the middle first, it's held down. We know there's no bondweb behind it, but it's holding its own. So if my needle's in the wrong place, just lift the presser foot, adjust, presser foot down, carry on. Right, I think that'll do. This last side. And that's it. No one would even know. So I've just got a little bit of bondweb on there, but who cares? It's enough for what I want. So I'm going to put the it's just not it's just not plain. I think it's me that hasn't held it down long enough, but because it's only small bits, and I'm just going to put them on bit by bit by bit. Where does the topiary tree goes? Where there's 3, and it goes there. So let's just let's put a little stalk on first. So I've just I'll show you what I've done here. I've put my plant pot on. I'm putting it under the machine with the needle here, and I'm going to stitch it all the way down. And just before I stitch, I'm going to lift that off so that it goes behind. So that's how I've gauged where the plant pot is. I'm just coming straight down from there, straight down, turn the piece around, take the end off, go back up to the top. I'm going to do this at least 3 times. This is number 3. One more, I think, should do it. Don't try and be too neat, because if you are, you'll just end up with a narrow stalk. Look. So I've just done that, and now I'll put that over the top there, and I'll put that there. Perfect. Perfectio. Take the paper off. I should be going to the iron, and if I was on my own now, it would be a case of going to the iron and sticking it all down. But I'm just getting on. Just having a little cheat. We all like a little cheat, don't we? So let's put the little plant pot on. I'm going to go around it a couple of times, and it's in keeping with everything else. Cut that little tail off as I go. I don't like doing the tails at the end. If you don't do them as you go, it seems to take hours to do them. And the second time round, I'm stitching in the margin between my first stitch line and the edge of the fabric, so that it's my stitching now is more on the edge. Come back to my topiary tree top, shove it on, shove it on. Now you could free machine this, but I'm just going to go round and I'm kind of wiggling it as I go so that it's not perfect. But if I go around twice, so I've gone round the first time, let's nip that straggly thread off, and then the second time, again, I'm going to go around in that margin between the first stitch line, oops, got that one there, and the edge of the fabric. And if I need to, I could even go around again if I wanted to. There you go. Now, when it's finished, hi Em. When it's finished, I am going to fill it full of red French knots. So any stitching that's not perfect, you can in a minute. Any stitching that's not perfect is going to be properly disguised once these red French knots are on. So as far as I'm concerned now, that side is done. So we are now onto the centre one. We've got the door there. Just straggly thread. Let's get the straggly thread off.
Hi everybody.
I am.
My name is Emily and this is Granny.
You're a sweetie. Okay. So I've got here.
And
So
I'm gonna win somebody.
are you? Right, which side am I going at with this?
I'll be back in a minute.
Okay. So that's going to the edge, right to the bottom edge, because the seam allowance is going to be about here. Yeah. So that then is caught in the seam and you haven't got any ugliness. I know you're pressing each layer up you get. I'll just press mine at the end. So I'm taking the paper backings off now. I've cut all the shapes out. These are coming off okay, so that's a relief. Pressing at the end is going to be fine. If I was a newbie, I would be terrified to do it this way, but having been doing it for many, many years, I'm just going to go for it. Hi, she's outside knocking on the wall. Now, I'm not going to put the star on until I've stitched all the tree. Now, what you can do if you want to is do the whole outside lines and then start going across. It's entirely up to you on how much kind of patience you've got and the whole thing. And you can see I haven't put the door on. So had I needed to, I could have moved the door wherever I wanted to. In fact, you know what? I might just pull all this over just a tiny little fraction because I'm taking it away from this stitch line here, which is ultimately the fold line. Show you plant pots. Overlap. The other way of stitching this down, of course, is to stitch the plant pot and then this layer, this layer, this layer, and this layer. Whichever way you do it, it's going to be great. So just have fun, and always practice first if you're unsure.
Everybody on that.
We know you're back.
I'm just gonna speak to Paddington.
Paddington, where's Paddington?
To that home, everybody.
Oh, right. While Granny's doing some stitching, do you want an audience? Do you need to talk? Oh, hang on. I'm just going to pull you back a little bit. Hang on, you're okay. Got the thingy stuck. Push you forward again now. Right. So,
Everybody,
while Granny's stitching, do you want to talk to everybody then?
well, this is Granny again.
Hang on. So, being as you can't see into my sewing machine while I'm sewing, Emily's going to keep you all company. Right, there you go, Em. The cat. Oh, you tinker winker. Right, don't touch Granny's machine. You talking to that camera there, and then everyone can see you.
Everybody, this is the snowman. Everybody say hello.
What we're going to be doing this afternoon?
Guys,
Mm,
got some buttons.
have we? Is that some buttons on Granny's sewing machine?
Oh, and I have got my puns.
You have got Punzel on, haven't you?
Now, get the hootie, okay, bye, boo.
Oh, what's boop for? I know what boop's for. It's because when you hang up the phone, that's the noise that Emily thinks the phone makes. Boop. Stitching these down then. This is a Christmas tree. Whose birthday is at Christmas?
I will give that to Mummy.
Not yet, not yet. Does your sister have a birthday at Christmas? Oh, didn't she? When's your birthday? Is it Halloween?
Yeah,
Do you have a witchy birthday?
yeah,
Do you?
I do. And I got my CD
So my tree's coming on nicely. I'm just putting the second layer on.
Hi, Halloween ghost. And hi, witch. Hi, zombies.
Zombies! Do you like zombies? No.
I like witches.
Oh dear.
And hi, Tango.
A witch is best.
And hi, cats. And hi, bees.
Dab a bit of glue
Hi,
on
snowman.
it. Yeah, Crit Stick works well.
But now it's in my dress and my belly button.
Well, we don't need to see your belly button.
And sometimes I like arms on, hands, finger, and that's all. And a tummy.
And as everybody can see, you're not camera shy, are you?
So this is my only and on my bookie.
Oi. You've got to be nice and polite.
Boop.
People are leaving you comments on here, look. Right. Can you see my little star? It's plopped off somewhere. Right, that's my tree. The tree is done. Hang on. So, a little tree coming there. Somewhere is a star. Now Granny's changing all the numbers by accident. Oh, it's on the floor. Just sit still. Right. There we go. Let's get this star on.
On the Christmas tree.
On the Christmas tree. There we go. Let's put the star at the top. Which way round do we think the star looks best? I think that'll do nicely.
Can I go get that to Mummy yet?
Not yet, because it's not finished, sweetie. Don't lean on Granny. So, I'm going to put the star on the tree. I'm using my little pair of scissors to just hold things flat while I stitch so that I don't go over my fingers by accident on such a small little thing.
Have you finished yet?
Hang on. I will in a sec. We've nearly done now, Em. You're a good helper. Right, let's get that last little point of my star. Right.
No cardboard, give it to Mummy.
Hmm?
No cardboard, give it to
You can
Mummy.
show me after that.
What?
One little point that's folded over as I've gone round, but I think I can live with it. As my star, my tree, my box has already been claimed by the sounds of it.
Finished.
Almost. I'm just going to tidy this up. If you find that the star is a little bit too much to manage, you could stitch one, just some gold thread, you know, like just stitch, stitch, stitch. So that's my tree now coming along.
Can I go give it to Mummy?
Hang on, we need to put the door on.
Door.
The door on. So I'm not necessarily centering my door perfectly because the tree is where it is. I mean, it is going to be centre, but just not bang slap centre. So just stuck that there. And then around we go.
We finished here.
Hang on. There we go. And if anybody's got any that they want, you know, if you're working alongside me and you've got one that you want to share, do dive in and you can join me like Pat did. Which is, I understand, not for everybody. It's quite nice as a community to get to see each other. That's a lovely song, Em.
Yeah, it's not like something.
Is it? Great. There we go. Coming together quite nicely. So,
Give that to Mummy now.
no. But you just go and tell Mummy. Just say, Granny says 10 minutes. I don't know what 10 minutes means, but now then, if you are using your pattern that you have bought, I would trace this next part, but if you are printing it, you can deface whatever you want, or I would trace it, maybe even Pritt stick onto a little cardboard and cutting out my dog, because there's not a chance in Christendom that you can see through this to trace anything. So I've got my little dog and I'm just going to cut him out. And Michaela again has kept the shape nice and simple for us. So cut him out in one piece, not in multiples. Be careful not to chop his tail off, or you'll have to sellotape it back on. And round we go. Oops, keep going. Nearly there, just the fine tuning to do. Let's cut it out. That's this front leg free. Now his back legs are emerging. Funny faces can you pull while you're cutting out in front of the camera? Let's just complete his tail. Now, if you want to keep this permanently, just stick it onto, switch the camera over, stick it onto a little piece of cardboard. You could use a cereal packet or anything you want. Where are we? So there we are. I've got my little dog. Now, if I traced round him the same way that he is on the page, he's looking away from the door. So flip him over and trace him that way round. Now, you've got on your pattern, there's a line goes across showing you the seam allowance. So you've also stitched there. You want him sat on top of your stitch line, because everything under the stitch line is going to be lost in the seam. You don't want to lose his legs in the seam. Now I'm just going to go and find a friction pen. Give me a sec. I've got loads of friction pens except when I want one. Oh. Great, here we are. Put my specs back on. Use your friction pen, and if you're going to stitch him, just draw around. It's easier said than done on a tiny little scale like this. If you'd rather just applique him, just applique him. I'd just do him in one solid colour though. I wouldn't be doing like lots of detail. There we go. Now I'm not going to stitch him now, and I'm not going to stitch the sentiment, because otherwise it's such a beautiful day. We'd all be like mind numbed. But you get the idea. And using a friction pen, if you get to a point and you don't like what you've done, you can always iron it off and reapply.
Yeah.
Hi, There we go, just complete that line. So that's my stitch line now. Turn him over. You can just copy his little ear detail. Oh, hello, Isabel. And he's got his little nose, and he's got his little eye. And once you get those on, straight away, he starts to look like he should. Oh, thank you, my angel. Thank you very much. Oh, a book. Thank you, Isabel. Thank you. Right.
Ah.
Right. Hang on. Right. Can Granny just finish this? Go tell Mummy 10 minutes. Check Isabel. You go with Emmy.
Oh, no.
All right. Right, there they go. So that's going to be stitched. And then we've got here the sentiment, Merry Christmas. Now you want to put, oh, hello, Isabel. You might want to put, with love, your little one is indeed here.
Oh. Oh.
We won't be long now.
Oh.
You might want to put with love and then from your name, or with love into the person, new home, whatever. I would draw freehand, and it'll be your own handwriting, and that to me is a bit more personalised. Use your friction pen, and if you don't like what you've is that George? If you don't like what you've drawn, then you can just iron it off and reapply. Yeah, are you going with Mummy?
Yeah, let's go find George.
Oh, Minnie Mouse is on the job now.
What's Minnie?
Um,
Let's go find George.
let's just turn this camera around a sec.
Bye, Granny.
Bye bye.
Bitch.
Oh, don't. There. So, friction pen wise, I've had great success with everything except black. That's the only one I don't like. I once drew black onto a fabric and it didn't come off properly, so I avoid black. So I use darker colours on light fabrics, lighter colours on dark fabrics, whatever's going to show up, but I do avoid the black ones. Apart from that, it's fine. So just let's go back downhill. Oops, I'm sure there's an easier way to do this that I can't even think of. So I would just, on here, let's go a jaunty little sideways angle, and I'm just going to put on here with love. There we go. Now it is possible to do the stitching after you've finished, so so I'm just going to leave that like that. I've put with love. As I say, you can put whatever you want on there, but let's move on and let's get finished off, because it's 2:20. It's a nice Sunday day, and I think we're probably at a point where we need to get out in the garden and enjoy the sunshine. So we've got that. Now in your kit, I'll just go get my own. You've got your ribbon. Just a sec. Hang on a sec. I'm not got the piece of ribbon that I want. What? Found my ribbon. And you've got in your kit for the large houses, for the presents are coming, you have got 4 meters of ribbon. So that is 1 meter per house. Okay, so with your 1 meter per house, oh, I need to just cut this. Hang on, I'm using it off the roll. Oh no, I can do. Sorry, I'm making hard work. I have a meter piece here. So with your 1 meter per house, just break it into, measure it into 3. So really, that's roughly thirds there, isn't it? Cut it into 3. Make sure it is 3. I know it's 3, but now I'm doubting myself. And then all we're going to do is fold it in half to find the center. And then on your main house here, at the top of the points, so I'll turn it around, you might see better on this side. At the top of these points, so 1, 2, 3, we're going to apply the ribbon. So it's folded in half, open it out, and then fairly close to the top, just stitch across and back. So let's get it done on our houses. I'll do mine, you do yours. We're literally minutes from finishing now. I'm going to take my applique foot off because my regular machine foot gives me more stability. Now, if you wanted to use a matching thread, switch over to something that's kind of a sandy, goldeny yellow colour. I'm just going to stick with mine because I am. The ends, oh, before I fasten it on, I'm going to show you this. The ends, I'm not sure if you're aware, if you melt them, they will stay put. So I have in my sewing thing a lighter. Just get your flame and just waft it by. That's it. Now that you can feel it's like sealed at the edge. So just put your flame on, waft it through, and that's it. That's now not quite sealed. There you go. That one's sealed. Let's do all the rest. I mean, if you're not comfortable doing this, don't do it. You could turn your ribbon back, but you'd lose a little bit of the length. Or you could just leave it to fray and replace it if needed. But if you're giving it away, are you bothered anyway? So it's entirely up to you. So that's just a little waft with the lighter, and all 6 of those ends are now sealed. There's no marks on there, no sooty marks. Nice and careful, as opposed to the little one where I got carried away. So there we go. So folded in half to find the center. I'm just going to go. Oh. I am. So across, turn your work around. Let's go downhill. Not that you can see a lot, but it just, you kind of can see that I'm turning it round kind of thing. So there we go. So across, back. Put your next one on. Now we've been quite a while doing one, but when you're doing all 4 and you're doing them together, it is so much quicker. So I'll just put it on there. It's folded in half, open it out, and put that on. So one way, spin it, and so the other way. And just nip these ends off. This is the quietest I've ever known you, missus. Are you okay? Fold it in half, just find the position, open it out, and put this on. Oops. Spin it back. Right, that's all the ribbons on there. There you go. So they're gonna work in pairs. Now they're stitched on. So next thing, all that's really left to do is, and I don't really know how to do this properly so that you can get the best view. So let's do it from the front. So what we're going to do is we're going to assemble it now. You ready? So we're going to join everything around the base, so this triangular base first. So because you've got this notch, whoops, hello darling, you've got this notch cut out here, almost, that is going to allow you to manipulate this round. So right sides together, just play around because you can see when your length matches. Don't forget on this final side you've got a seam allowance, so that's kind of where any indiscrepancies are coming, because you might have a seam allowance on one and not the other. So fold it over, my notch, the sides of it match here.
Granny,
1/4 inch seam. Hello darling. What? We sew this.
got the train tracks now.
Yeah, could you ask Grandad where they are? Because I don't know.
No,
where they are.
Granny's not here.
Oh, all right then. We'll go find them in a little bit.
You have to get the train tracks.
I will find the train tracks. Now, because you've already sewed around this, because you've already, you know, when we started right at the beginning, you already sewed round. You've actually marked your seam allowance on there, so you've got a line to follow. So don't go quite to the end, and then fold this again, and then go around again, not going quite to the end. That's going to just leave the seam allowance. It's going to give you that wiggle room to get up there. So just get your finger in and just like make yourself some space in there. Don't leave your finger in while you're sewing. I don't want you to sew over it. And you can always partially sew the seam. Oops, right, we don't do that again, please. You can always partially sew the seam, and then when you're happy, come back. So like what I mean is you could sew the middle and then come back and sew the edge. So that's my next one done there. I love this bit because it just ends so quickly. So that's the base completely sewn, and then finally you've got your sides. Now here on the sides, match at the bottom of the roof here, because if you match from the bottom and it's going to be out, it'll be out here. So as you're looking at your roof, oops, it won't be level, it won't follow all the way around. So that's the point where you match, not the bottom of the seam. Oh yeah. So let's in fact I never actually finished clipping this seam earlier on. Just get that done now. You know, when I was cutting it out and I said I'd come back and snip that, I never did. There we go. Now, we do have a Quilting Antics exclusive group if you're not already in it. So match there, sew from the top and down. Feel free to send a request to join. As long as you're a real person, you will be admitted. We do check that that you've got something on your, you know, on your profile, that you're not a Chad or a Chuck who's going to get stuck in Iraq and need £25,000 for his flight home. We do have a little check. As long as that's not you, you are going to be admitted, and in there we are all sharing our work. So you can see now I've stitched them all up and turn it through. Moment of truth. Drum roll, please. Push out the corners. You may want to clip the corners if you're struggling to push them out. I did use a dark thread. I didn't change back to my light, which probably I shouldn't have done. Push the corners out, and you've got your roof. So, oops, I've just been a bit overzealous on that corner there. Just took that back in. There we go. Right, so we've got there. That's your nice base done. Remember I said that the bottom, this one's a little plain with. the bottom of your applique was going to be caught in the seam allowance, and it is. So that's all tidy there. And then if you match your roof going all the way around, so here the roof matches. And as we started at the beginning and you sewed these vertical lines, they are now going to fold in. So you push those in. Yeah. First time you might just have to persuade it. Push them in. And then the longer this stays in situ, the better it's going to be. So you can see the top there is pushing in. The final side here, you've got a diagonal line here on the that you stitched. That is going to fold in and it's going to tuck inside. So tuck that in there. So if you're going to gift it, what I would suggest is making them up in good time. And then I'm just going to switch to my old one. So this one's been made for a while, okay, and it's been tied up for a while, and you can see the folds there. It wants to fold itself because it's been folded for quite some time. So if I straighten that out, look, it's gonna push itself in, and that's essentially what's going to happen to yours as it ages. So if you make it, you know, like Christmas is coming, get them done in good time, and then once they are made, folded and tied up, then you're not going to have any problems. So tying up, what I find easiest is take two and tie them together, and then put those two together as if they are one. Tuck that that little flap inside. If you want to zigzag that, remember I said to Pat about the other roofs earlier, zigzag that if you want. Tuck that inside there and then use what's left. Tie them once and make them into a bow. It's really easy to do when you're not in front of the camera live. Play around with your loops to get them nice and tidy. There you go. And that is your completed gift box. So get busy because they are addictive. In the kits, I've got the 4 colours, which are here. There is like this one. If I can't get my hands on that, then I will change it for something else. You know, it might be this grey, it might be a similar grey. Let's tie this one up a minute. They're all like uniformed and tidy. There you go. So there we are. There we have it. So dangling over the front there. So 4 little gift boxes. You can make all 4 with the kit. You just need the calico and the in-our form. But as we've shown, you can use up leftovers. Let's turn them all around. So we've got the writing side, something like that, and then turn around again. And we've got the topiary tree side, all decorated with some French knots there on the topiary tree to look like berries or flowers or whatever you want. So I hope you've really enjoyed that. I've kind of enjoyed it. It's been a voyage for me. What have we been? We've been 3.5 hours. Oh, that's not bad really, is it? Because I've gone slow. We've done it in real time, the whole thing. So I've enjoyed it. I hope you've enjoyed it. I'll pick a worse weather day next time. If you'd like to have a go at making this one, this Robin Birdhouse, let me know. Drop me a message and I'll set up a day and I'll organise some kits and we can do that. Janet, thank you, Anthea. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Oh, all being well, obviously we've got the issues with Dad. I'm going to try and do a tweed sale next Friday night. If I don't do one live, I will put some photographs up in the exclusive group and do it that way. But all being well, we will be back. Yay! Next week. It's looking a bit brighter. So yeah. So right. Thank you very much, everyone, and I'll see you soon.